Alright, paperwork is all signed. Some parts of that unicorn will take longer than others to get ready. We'll call you as soon as it's done. I appreciate it. King Harla, before you leave, can I talk to you? I'd be a poor king to turn down the request of a lady. What ails you? I've been getting better at divinations. I sketched them out. This one hit me 5 minutes ago. There's a forest nearby. If you're there by sundown, then everything will be fine. But if you're not there, then there will be death. Whose death? I don't know. Well, I know better than to disregard the visions of a practiced witch. Lieutenant, my king, go take the hunt to the ghost horde. I have further business here. Will you need anything? Is it the same forest Jonathan went into? My horse and hunting dogs. And my bow. Hello? HQ? Come in? Fuck. They're less than a minute behind you. You have to run. You're Jessica Valentine, their latest victim. Yeah, and if you don't move your ass, you'll be their latest victim. Any ideas on where? I got turned around. I have no idea where I am. Follow me. Ugh, I hate cardio. We're not going too far, just to the stream. It's right outside their territory. Do they live out here? I don't think so. You're too smart for that. You're a cop? No, ghost hunter. We're not law enforcement, but we do sometimes work with them. I was trying to figure out if it was a ghost causing all these disappearances. Sorry to disappoint you. The stream's just up ahead. Why is the stream safe? We're still in the middle of the forest. They didn't want to deal with the Guardian. What Guardian? Halt, mortal! Yeah. If you wish to pass my stream, you must answer my riddle. Oh my god, dude, are you okay? I'm dead, so no. You're a ghost hunter? Are you hunting her? No, she's kind enough to help me. I'm leaning a little more toward vengeance than kindness. You got a pair of serial killers in your forest, Sphinxy. It's not my forest. I only guard the stream. I'm too young for anything more than that. We thought it was a ghost causing all the disappearances. Our guess was this one hiker who most likely committed suicide some years ago. I did my research. He existed and definitely had mental health issues. The disappearances started after he vanished and spiked in times when the veil between the living and dead is thin. There was even some ghost tears found a few weeks ago. It all added up. I'm pretty sure those were my tears. If that hiker's a ghost, I haven't met him. I've just met George and Brady, although I don't know if that's their real names. That's how they introduced themselves to me, too. I think they're real. Did they tell you that they were lost and needed help? Yeah, I got the vibe that something was off, but figured it was my duty to get the civilians away from the possible ghost hotspot when George swung at me with an axe. I ducked and ran. Brady started firing. Barely got out in one piece. Brady uses the gun to prevent victims from getting away, but usually they like to play with their food. There are way easier things to hunt out here. No, they are not cannibals, just sadistic serial killers who enjoy kidnapping and torturing people to death. They're smart enough to go after people like hikers and campers and hunters, especially those expected to be in the woods for at least a few days, and they've covered their tracks. I don't even think their names have come up in the police investigation. But like all serial killers, they've been getting cocky and sloppy. Case in point, going after a ghost hunter. Can't you call for backup or something? I'm assuming they've got some sort of device blocking my signal. Yep, they did the same thing to my cell phone. Well, that's never happened here before. My gym partner, Drek, he brings a cell phone all the time and can always call someone. That means they're closing in on you.
Hey, Georgie, I think I got this trail.
Where's civilization? Follow my stream for half a mile and then due south of the big willow tree. I'll stall them. You sure? Don't I have to solve a riddle? You did, the riddle of the missing hikers. Now shoot. I know where the tree is. Let's go. You're gonna go ahead, cut him off? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll try to chase him towards you. Oh, crap. Stupid stream means there's this stupid... Halt, mortal! Yeah, you've got one of your little riddles for me? You may pass only if you correctly answer my riddle. Remind me why I don't just shoot you? My fur is bulletproof. That is not fair. Look, I'm not here for you. I'm just looking for a friend. You may pass only if you correctly answer my riddle. Jesus, fine. What's the riddle? What? Smells like Old Spice and only has one eye. What? Yeah! My eye! Ah! Good answer. This is the tree. The road's about a mile straight south. Jessica? You've got a tail. Get going, I'll stall. Be careful. Please, he already killed me. What more can he do? A lot, otherwise I wouldn't have a job. Just go. Johnny. Come here, Johnny boy. You left us in the middle of the woods. It was rude. So is dismemberment. What was your name again, sweetie? Was it Monica? No, she was more of a screamer. And Betsy was higher pitched. You're not one of the men. Jessica. That's what it is. You know, so many people think it's ghosts who are responsible for all your victims, not you. That means a ghost could kill someone. Let's test it out. Ghost protection charm. You can't touch me. But good effort, sweetie. Stick around. I want to see you watch me chop Johnny into pieces. You sure you don't want to save your brother? He ran into the Sphinx. She doesn't appreciate people murdering in her woods. If he dies, he dies. Fuck. I hate cardio so much. Dying by axe murderer couldn't be more painful than this, could it? Move your ass, John. Yeah, Jessica, what? He's got an anti-ghost charm and doesn't care enough about his brother to save him from the Sphinx. You've got to go. The road's just up ahead and then there's a gas station nearby. As soon as I get home, I'm cuddling all of my cats and sleeping for a week. Shit. Hi, Johnny. Nobody's called me Johnny since I was 8. Get used to it. Wait. Before you kill me, I just need to know why? Why not? Oh, you are very disturbed. I was going to say batshit crazy. Well, that's hardly diplomatic. John, you're going to die. Yeah, and you'd think that I'd be more willing to accept that, what with the dead family and all, but 10 years of therapy and healing is really making me wish I'd taken up jogging. Therapy. Waste of time. Yeah! Oh! You son of a bitch! And you are a yeldsome lever eater. As much as I understand the importance of paperwork, can we wrap this up? I've got cats to feed. How many cats do you have? 4. Who on earth needs that many? I hate silence. I just need to clarify. So the killer that attacked you, George, got shot through the arm by Hurla. His brother Brady lost an eye. How did that happen? Ask the Sphinx. Or Jessica, if her ghost is still around. She moved on as soon as those curs got cuffed. Good for her. Also, officer, you should talk to the Sphinx anyway, because I think I have a concussion. You definitely do. I had to carry you out of that forest. You did? Memory loss is another sign of being concussed. Oh, sorry about that. Was it at least over the No, it was bridal carry. Don't you start. You're heavy. Whatever. That Sphinx, we've already got someone on it. Look, you're not in trouble, but you've got blood on your claws, and we just need to do a quick DNA test to verify the story. You may approach, if you answer my riddle. How do you two know each other again? We've run into each other a handful of times in professional settings. Just that? I mean, saving my life is definitely a step closer to friendship. Keep dreaming, Jonathan. Huh. Well, I just lost $5. Serves you right for assuming. Assuming what? Thought you were a couple. I mean, you carried him out of the forest. His legs gave out as soon as the danger was gone. After all the trouble I went into saving him, I wasn't going to leave him to a bear. You were treating his wounds before the ambulance got here. Your EMTs took too long. And you haven't left his side since. Because I've been alive for 1,500 years and know how incompetent mortals can be. Not friendship, my ass. What was that? Nothing. Could I get a ride home? I'll see if someone can drive you. Ugh, What is with the people of this century? You know, back in my time, men weren't afraid of being human. As late as a couple of centuries ago, we laughed, cried, hugged, even kissed each other, and no one accused anyone of being a sodomite. Ooh, so that word's picked up a bit of a nasty connotation since the Middle Ages. Homosexual, then. Better, but still not great. Just say gay. But gay means happy, cheerful. It has nothing to do with sexuality. Words change their meaning, a fact that you're well aware of given that you're speaking modern English and not Old English. Changes too damn much. Come on, I may not know how automobiles work, but I do know you shouldn't drive them with a concussion. I get to ride on the flying horsey? Yes, you get to ride the flying horsey. So the cookbook is completely written and edited. All photographs have been taken and added. We're just waiting on the cover art, which should be done by the time it's available for publication in 9 days. Oh, that's cutting it close. Well, the photos would have taken less time if someone hadn't kept eating all the props. Hey, I left enough for you to work with. Besides, aren't you going to cheat with stock photos anyway? Only for some of them. Hey guys, I found this phone while clearing tables. Ew, iPhone. We'll keep it behind the register until they return for it. In this day and age, they won't get far. Oh my god, remember when they first came out with the flip phones and it felt like living in a sci-fi novel? Oh, such cute little gizmos. Yeah, and I leave it in the other room for 5 minutes and it's like losing an arm. Hey, I think I left my phone here. It's an iPhone 16. Right here, buddy. Need anything else? No, and maybe next time you won't try to steal a customer's phone. What? You heard me. Why would I want to steal your phone? I have a perfectly functional one. Who knows why people do stupid things? You're calling me stupid? If we were trying to steal your phone, wouldn't I be doing a lot more to cover it up, like refusing to give it to you, misdirecting you, or straight up having a human or dragon or someone else up here who can lie to you about that? Well, I certainly didn't leave it behind. Except you did. It was a mistake. Those happen. People leave all sorts of things behind here. Phones, wallets, books, bags. Oh, sure, they just happened to leave their valuables behind on your watch. I'm on to you. Whatever. Next, Bob's wrapping up her break. What was that about? You know, I wish I could blame technology for that kind of brain rot, but people have always been that stupid. Well, thank you so much for helping me shop for essentials and moving them into my new apartment. This would have gone on much longer without you. Best part about being a dragon, the moving furniture muscles. Why rent a truck when you can rent a dragon? I'm just impressed that we found a whole-ass bed frame for under $200 and a brand new mattress for $50. JC, what the fuck? How did you do that? And you just gotta know people who run certain businesses that may or may not be fronts for illegal activity. Did we just financially support the mob? Better than supporting Bezos. I know that JC just found you a whole bunch of cookware that I also think we shouldn't look too closely at. But that's just from Goodwill, okay? Just wash it 2 or 3 times, you'll be fine. But I'm up for ordering pizza. Up for pizza? That's half the reason I agreed to do this. Was the other half watching me figure out that the easiest way to get the hulking bed frame up 3 floors to this apartment was to actually put it on the roof and push it down 4 flights of stairs? I may be aced, but yes, that was very sexy. I'll call for delivery. Great, I think if we all pitch in $5... Oh no, you're not paying for squat. This is my treat. No way, you were literally homeless last week and just spent half of your remaining savings on basic necessities, and you haven't even gone grocery shopping yet. But I have coupons, so it's fine. I am Venmoing you my share. Well, you can't do that because I don't even know what that is. Then I'm calling Bob to tell her to put $5 from my tips to yours. Don't you dare. Where do we stand on this? Agree with Oscar treating us and then sneak a couple of $10 bills in his coat pocket. Ah. So I'm going to be DMing this campaign starting up in January, and it's kind of intimidating because they're all adults. I mean, I know I'm an adult now, but that's like a recent development. I'm pretty sure Patrick's the youngest, and he's almost 100 years old. And I don't want to goof it up, but using one of those tried and true campaigns like Curse of Strahd kind of feels like cheating, you know? Like wearing training wheels to a race. Well, you know, there's nothing wrong with using the tried and true method. You know, there are a bunch of immortals or Otherwise, long-lived people, centuries old, so they're not expecting the 18-year-old to dazzle them here, alright? If anything, it sounds like they want you to use the training wheels on them, so that when you start doing this type of thing with people who haven't been playing Dungeons & Dragons since it's been invented, you're the equivalent of the immortal Fey being, who's already seen it all. I guess. And I know it's just my ADHD making me overthink everything. Heck, I mean, with Patrick and Cyrus alone, I could throw them all in an empty room and we'd have a full 5-hour session of chaos. See, nothing to worry about. Also, you're having me come here twice as often as usual. I'm not upset or anything, I just want to know what's up. What's up is that there were 2 serial killers operating in this forest for months if not years, and I didn't do anything because I'm only powerful enough to protect the stream, so I've got to step it up to cover more ground to prevent that type of thing from happening again. Sphinx, you tore out a man's eyeball. Yeah, and there were 2 of them. I couldn't go to the second one fast enough. The Wild Hunt had to step in. Fair enough. Although if I'm going to be here, might as well collect a few riddles. I do love those sessions where the players have to solve some sort of puzzle instead of just murder hoboing their way around. You got any good ones today? Oh, do I? Good morning! Welcome to CaFae Latte! Today's specials are the caramel apple latte and pumpkin smoothie, one of which is in the cookbook that's coming out real quick. Oh, I know, darling. I helped JC with a few of those recipes for a big stack of coupons, including the Southern Sweet Tea and Apple Crumble, for which I would build a temple in your honor, if I was any good at architecture or carpentry. You redeeming the coupons now? No, she gave them to the boys at the fire station. Is that where all those came from? I thought we were getting an odd amount of firefighters and EMTs here. No complaining, of course, it was just abnormal. I keep telling them the coffee and food here is much better than the sugared sludge they get from the Starbucks closer to the station. But none of them believe me. Oh my lord, I can't stand Starbucks, not even when they first got started. And then they were suddenly everywhere in the 90s. I say this as a southern woman. Putting a gallon of sugar in something don't automatically make it better. In fact, I can help whoever's next. I want to wait all day for the geezers. I think you're the one who needs help. Pardon? I can tell from that little pride pin on your jacket that you've fallen for the devil's latest scheme. You know, the queer people stole the rainbow from God. Oh, Jesus, one of these. Buddy, you can't use the Bible to justify being a bigot. That book says that you shouldn't wear 2 different types of fabric, women could be sold into marriage for a bit of livestock, and that slavery is okay. You gonna be preaching all that too? Times change, but the word of God remains true. When was the last time you spoke to Jesus? I mean, there's a guy named Jesus who works at the Mexican place down the street. I went there last week, but he's still working on his English. I'm just trying to be a good Christian and save you from an eternity of torment. Men are destined to serve God one way and women another. To stray from that path is to walk with the devil. I'm sure any true Christian would agree. Oh no, I can't say that I... You know, if someone comes across a sinner, a good Christian should pray for them. That's the most powerful weapon in our arsenal. Thank you. I'll pray for God to open you to compassion and away from sin. Oscar, honey, could you hand me that pen? What? Well, you're discriminating against one of God's children, which goes directly against his orders to judge not and to be a good neighbor. Thank you, darling. What's your name? You don't have to pray for me. Besides, it says right in Leviticus 18:22, you shall not lie with a male as with a woman. It is an abomination. Yes, even the devil can quote scripture, but that don't mean he understands it. Don't worry, baby. I'll pray for you anyway. Well, shit, that was some fighting fire with fire. Well, I'm glad you got a kick out of it, but I am actually going to be praying for that woman. I should do that too. May I have that pen back? You look familiar, darling. Do you go to our church? Well, I go to any church that claims to actually feed and clothe those who need it. I'm not denominational or picky. In fact, there's a synagogue I often go to on Friday nights. The rabbi's drashes are a hoot. But I think I've gone to yours a few times. I've seen your face around. The Unitarian Church on Washington? That's us. Been going there almost 3 years now. Oh, really? Stereotypes have failed me again. I thought you two would be Baptists. Oh, we are. When we moved to Minnesota 5 years ago, the first thing we did was find a Baptist church similar to the one we had in Mississippi. They're a bit scarce around here, but we found one in town all the same. The pastor at the time was a fine gentleman. I'm sure he had his opinions about the queer community, but he kept them out of his preaching and focused solely on helping his flock find spiritual peace. After about a year, though, he retired. And stayed retired, unlike a certain gentleman I could name. I have a wide variety of skills, but quitting ain't one of them. Well, who's in a rush to go die in a retirement home? Anyway, the new pastor that they got, well, he was a young buck. Not that we minded that too much. We all got to start somewhere. But he had all the arrogance of youth and none of the compassion or curiosity. He came roaring in with his gay is the devil's work and women ought to be subservient to their husbands. When I tell you how hard I laughed at that one, I still remember the day the Supreme Court let you have a credit card. Lord, that made my life so much easier. So, of course, plenty of people left, mostly the women, and that really annoyed the pastor and elders because guess who were the ones scheduling and running all the functions? Oh, see, you're supposed to do all the invisible domestic labor and not bitch about it. That's the trick. Yeah, she never did master that one. Anyway, we considered staying to fight and maybe turn that young pastor's view around or petition for a new one, but we decided our own spiritual health and family came first. Our babies are adults now, 2 of them with babies of their own, and when they visit we often go to church together. And we want that church to be a place where everyone's comfortable and welcome, especially now that our granddaughter came out just last year as lesbian. Well, she came out last year, but let's just say the closet she came out of, it don't have a door. And I was surprised. Honey, she never had posters of boys in her room, only girl celebrities, and she spent all of elementary and middle school saying how she wished she was a boy so she could date girls because they were so pretty. Well, yeah, you are. That's just a fact. I always feel bad for the straight woman having to deal with our bullshit. So, as the non-binary trans person in the room, I feel like I should ask, is there any other reason she said she wished she was a boy? Because that's sometimes an indication that there is a coming out as trans conversation about to happen. Apparently she did experiment a little with her friends, cutting her hair short and put it on boys' clothes and whatnot. Stole my jacket. She kept the clothes and still keeps her hair short, but apparently the boy names and pronouns and whatnot just didn't fit. Neither did the non-binary ones. So as far as she and everyone else know, she's just a classic tomboy lesbian. And let me tell you, she hits every stereotype. Like I said, no door on that closet. Well, yeah, of course she kept the clothes. The pockets alone. Honestly, who has not a few gay thoughts every now and then? It happens to all of us. Exactly. I only get attracted to people when I've known them a while, and I've only ever been with women, but there's been more than one gentleman where I've been a little sad that they're straight. Exactly. To say nothing of what goes on in boot camp and military life when you're young, dumb, and single and getting shot at every other week. No, they're not ready for that conversation yet. Yarn Granny's husband said that. Yep, he did. To Oscar, who seemed to agree. And you didn't nudge it along? If they were being hurtful bigots or unhappy with themselves, then I would have pushed it. I'm just bringing it up to you because, as a fellow queer under the bi-pan umbrella, we might be able to drop our own experiences like breadcrumbs and let them fill in the blanks from there. Good idea. And he does have a point, especially about being in the military where you could die at any given moment. Which is another reason I didn't push. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert in their lives. What I'm going to do is pop the muffins in the oven. Oh, are those the ones in the cookbook? Oh yeah, we've got blueberry and dragonfire in there. Dragonfire? Those black bread ones with the spices? I toned it down for the sake of the 99% of the population that aren't dragons and don't snack on ghost peppers like popcorn, but the thing about recipes is you can always fiddle with them. Fair enough. Good afternoon, how can I help you? Why would you ask me that? Do you think I'm stupid? No, you just looked like you were looking for something. Well, I was looking for... Sorry, I didn't catch that. I was looking for someone who could speak English. I'm speaking English? Well, how was I supposed to know that? I want to make a complaint to your manager. Very well. Bob, can you come out here, please? I'm struggling to understand. What is your complaint about, exactly? She assumed I was stupid. And you assumed that someone working the front end of an American coffee shop in the heartland of the United States could not speak English just because she's Arabic. I'd say her assumption was closer to reality than yours. Now go before I decide to curse you with the inability to speak English. Maybe I shouldn't work so much overtime. Excuse me?
Yes, how can I help you?
You're really going to do this sitting down?
Well, unless you need me to reach for something like one of those pastries over there, I don't see a reason to stand up at the moment. I need to give the old bones a rest now and then if I'm going to make it through the shift.
It's unprofessional.
No, it's healthy, and most jobs can be done sitting down just fine.
It's the principle of the matter. If you're on the clock, you should be working.
You can't expect people to work for hours on end without taking a break. You'll drive them straight into the ground.
Then maybe you shouldn't be working.
Unfortunately, everyone needs to work to keep the roof over their heads. Lucky for me, I enjoy staying busy.
Then get on your damn feet.
Silence. I don't think that's ever going to get old.
It rarely does. I should curse you with the inability to sit anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day, but that's classified as torture. So instead, you will be unable to speak to any blue-collar staff until you respect them and their need for rest while on the clock. Now, would you like something to drink? And they're gone.
Does that curse extend to writing?
No, that's why I've indulged in it so much since the rise of literacy. They can still be a pain, but now they have to put more effort into it. How fares your new apartment?
Oh, it's just lovely. Lindsay and Nicole both gave me some charms to keep it safe and ensure the AC and heater never conk out on me. And JC, Raythu, and Cyrus all helped me get furniture from thrift stores and Goodwill and the like, and one very shady mattress store that may have been a front for the mob, but they were nice enough to JC. The mattress is very comfy for a thief's bargain, so I'm not going to complain. I think I want to pad up my savings a little more before I start looking into decorations. The place is a little bland and soulless at the moment, and a friend of mine's getting a new television and they're giving me the old one.
Excellent. I'm very glad to hear it.
Thanks again for that blessing. I'm sure I'd have been fine without it, but it sure is a load off my shoulders.
I don't like the idea of my people living in uncertainty. Do let us know if any issues arise.
Will do.
Well, happy Trans Awareness Week to us.
So far the last decade has been very disappointing.
How you handling it?
I learned to live out of spite a very long time ago. The vast majority of people who hate me and want me dead for the mere act of breathing as a transgender person are in the ground. Some by my own hand.
Allow me to play them the world's smallest violin. How stupid do you have to be to go against a vampire?
Most of them didn't know that until I was ripping the limbs from their torso.
Fair. And yeah, spite and rage work in a pinch if you can't lean on anyone else. Of course, then when you do have other things to live for, like friends, a couple of functional family relationships, a girlfriend, a good job, a culinary degree in the works.
It's an odd experience. Patrick has always been something of a cuddle monster, now he's even worse.
I've started carrying again, and Bob offered to enchant the gun and or bullets to always hit their target. And she doesn't even like guns.
Did you accept?
I don't need it. And she has better places to put her magical energy.
How are you handling the world's wrath?
Stress baking. Lots and lots of stress baking. Which is good, not just because of my job, but because we've got a cookbook coming out in 2 days, and making and selling the stuff in there like pistachio chocolate chunk cookies and scones and fudge is apparently really good marketing. Is it ethical to use people's grief in the wake of the election and Transgender Awareness Week to promote our product? I mean, look, we had the date picked out months ago as the best time to be both a holiday gift and something people can get if they want to bake the stuff in there for the holidays, including Thanksgiving. It's not our fault we've got to do this in Cheeto Man's shadow.
And I dare say that some of us deserve a sweet treat, even if we must make it ourselves. Speaking of which, I'll take 2 vegan Dragonfire muffins. Patrick's rather fond of them.
Fair enough.
We're starting the holiday drinks this early? I thought Bob had a strict no Christmas until after Thanksgiving rule. She has a strict no Christmas music until after Thanksgiving rule, and she typically waits at least a week after Halloween before busting out the winter flavors. Persephone's Latte. Dryad pomegranate flavor? Hell yeah. Well, at least we can bid farewell to pumpkin spice. You take that back. Pumpkin spice forever! You're so lucky you're pretty. So how are you doing, receive me? Well, I don't breathe fire when I'm pissed off, so I don't have the Wildlife Service putting me on a watch list. I did it in the middle of Lake Superior. No trees or boats anywhere around. They're just a bunch of crybabies. You staying off of socials? Mostly. You? I've gotten back into it. Most of my feed is flooded with people arguing whether or not books are political. No, they're not that stupid. Tell me readers aren't that stupid. Raythu, Corval, scaly light of my life, I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this. They are indeed that stupid. Hey, are cookbooks political? Because ours comes out tomorrow, and I want to know if it's gonna be tossed in a fire in a few years. Well, the author is queer, so fuck. Alright, so tell me again why I have to be in the cookbook promotion. I was only supposed to write the damn thing. Which is why you should also be the face of it. You know the product better than any of us. Whatever. I can't believe we actually have people following the cafe online. You're not giving away my recipes for free, are ya? Nah, just some shots of the treats themselves. Whatever works. So I just go? Yeah, just go. Okay. Hi, I'm Jennifer Charles, the head baker and kitchen manager at CaFae Latte. The last couple of weeks have fucking sucked, so you should get our cookbook. Language? I'm just telling it like it is. The holidays are coming up, so if you want to make a new dessert for your family, you should check out our cookbook. Just be sure to mark which cookies go to your smug MAGA uncle so you don't accidentally give yourself the laxative. Jennifer Charles, it's a genuine concern. Yeah, but legally we can't add that or else we're on the hook for aiding and abetting. For fuck's sake. If your friend's family and or girlfriend is currently depressed for reasons I cannot possibly think of, then, well, if you bake them something, they'll still be depressed, but at least they'll have some food in them, and you get to spend anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour focusing on making that food rather than literally anything else. That's accurate, but not quite the angle we're going for. Do you want me to just put the cover on screen and call it a day? Please. Hey, Nicole, haven't seen you around lately. I've been busy. May I please have my usual hot chocolate? Sure. How are the kiddos? Bad. We have quite a few openly queer students at my school, one of them transgender. He's popular, likely because he's a theater kid, which is better than being a football star in terms of popularity around here. He and his friends were looking forward to Trans Awareness Week and had a plan for each day, making posters and skits that got into trans and genderqueer historical figures and mythology. But now they're all sad and terrified. Oof. Middle school's hard enough, but now you're old enough to realize that the government sucks and also hates you. Some of the boys are saying your body, my choice to the girls, which I send them to the principal for and try to talk to them about why that's so harmful, but it's not slowing them down. I try to give everyone an outlet for all their emotions, positive and negative, in my art class, but a lot of them don't see the point. What's a bit of paint going to do against this? Hey, come on, you know better than that. I do. I know the power of art, but it's not as strong as the power of policy. All the work, all that progress, and now we're going backwards. People are going to die from this. Makes me wonder what's the point. You forget. Boss and I came to this country in the 1840s. I saw the dying days of American slavery, the Civil War that ended it, emancipation, the first dozen or so black people elected to Congress, and the real changes they were bringing. And then I saw Jim Crow, and the century of horrors your grandfather had to go through and escape. I saw women get the right to vote, saw them take over all the factories that let us win World War II, and then I saw them pushed back into the kitchen and lobotomized for protesting. Same with queer and disability and workers' rights. This is how history goes. Progress is made and then slapped back down, but it does not stay down. It didn't end with Jim Crow and happy housewives, and it won't end here. Maybe the country will end. Maybe we've finally taken that fatal step from democracy to dictatorship, and within the next few generations, America will fracture and crumble and fall to rubble the way all empires eventually do. Or maybe we save it at the last minute. Either way, the people will endure, the way we always have. We won't be unscathed, and it's gonna hurt like a bitch, but we have and will survive worse, no matter how hard they try. When you're in a fight, you don't win by going down at the first bad hit, or second, third, or 10th. You win by getting your ass back up and hitting back harder. So brush yourself off, drink your hot chocolate, and start swinging. Welcome to CaFae Latte. Today's specials are the pomegranate latte and the Hellfire apple cider. We also have blueberry scones, orange chocolate loaf cake, and matcha cookies, all from the official CaFae Latte cookbook that just came out. Cool. Can I just have a regular coffee, room for cream, and, maybe a couple of those matcha cookies? Oh, sure. Let me get that on the screen for you. If you don't mind me asking, you seem frazzled, grieving. I know it's not my place, but are you all right? Yeah, I just, recently broke up with my fiancé. It had to be done. I don't regret it, but it's, even the gentlest of breakups can still be terrible, especially if you're preparing to marry them. Did he cheat? No. After the election, he picked me up for our date and with a big smile asked me, "Did you see that Trump won?" You made the right call. Not everyone agrees. A lot of them are saying it's dumb to break up over politics. No, it's not. It's smart. Because politics have always been personal. Politics determines whether or not I'm going to be able to get the medical and mental health care I need as a working class queer woman. They determine whether I or my daughters will be able to get routine medical care even before you consider the potential for pregnancy. They determine whether my husband and I are going to be able to buy a house in a few years. If someone in my non-white family gets shot by a police officer, politics determines whether those officers are actually going to face justice or live to kill again. You can't tell someone you love them and then vote for the person who's going to take away their rights and freedoms and make it easier for people to harass, assault, and kill them. So yes, absolutely break up over politics, because they are and always have been a matter of life and death. I needed that. I also think you need some food. Here is your coffee, and here are your cookies. Stay as long as you need. Thanks. Asif and I are thinking about resigning. I can't have him as commander-in-chief again. The cafe could always use you full-time, and we do offer full health and dental for employees and their families. Good to know. Hey babe, you got a minute? Sure. Is something wrong? Not really. I was just wondering what your Thanksgiving plans were. Probably spend it with my parents. My dad's especially big on the holiday. He spends all day cooking, sometimes even starting the night before. They wanted me to ask if you were coming too, or if you preferred Christmas. Both. Don't you want to spend one of the holidays with your own family? No, I'm cutting off my parents entirely. What happened? They decided that voting for the guy who promised but will probably fail to reduce the price of gas was more important than protecting the rights of their non-binary kid. And that of their daughter. Kelly's also cutting them off. Oh. I'm sorry. I wish I could say I was surprised, but I can't say I am. What about your brother? He didn't vote at all and is refusing to take sides. I'm not cutting him off, but I can't say I particularly care about maintaining that relationship either. I'll tell my parents to expect you and Kelly. Whoa, you're inviting her too? She's my friend, your sister, and doesn't have parents anymore. Should we expect her for Christmas too? Yeah. Thank you, babe. God damn it, where is the fucking pot? Yeah, I'm almost done washing it. Hurry the fuck up. Whoa, what crawled in your ass and died this morning? Not now. You either tell me or you tell boss. You have no idea how badly I want to get high right now. One of those days. Yeah, and I usually cope by stress baking, so if I could get that fucking pot... You're going to hate yourself for yelling at the kid. Should you even be at work if you're feeling like this? Yes, because at work I have to stay in this kitchen and concentrate on baking and making food and making sure you don't steal all the food. There is no chance or opportunity for me to find my old dealers and go get high in my apartment or in a ditch somewhere. Well, what do you typically do when this mood strikes you on your days off? Either stress bake or go to the firing range or spend a few hours with Nicole if she's feeling particularly athletic. Here's the pot. What else did you need? Thanks. Sorry. Anything and everything. Alright then. Can't wrong. It's a Zen charm. The spell is designed to calm anxiety, but it's also been known to help with other types of stress. Did Cyrus bug you about this? It was my day off anyway. It's not a particularly powerful charm. I don't think it'll last longer than tomorrow morning. That's fine. Thank you, babe. You're welcome. What about me? Do I get a thank you? Yeah, in the form of me not breaking your hand for stealing my stuff. That's fair. Alright, I got one. Johnny Cash, Stevie Nicks, Dolly Parton. Oh, definitely Wedding Dolly. That's a no-brainer. I never liked Stevie's music, but I also don't want to bed Johnny. Guys, can I take your dishes? You can take my plate, but I'm still nursing the coffee. I'd feel too guilty killing Johnny, so wed Dolly, behead Stevie, then get really drunk to bed Johnny. I'm inclined to agree with you. Are you guys playing Boink, Marry, Kill? It's wed, bed, and behead when you're in polite company, yes. Oh, I could never get the hang of those games. How do you know you want to wed or bed someone unless you get to know them? And beheading them just seems mean. Yeah, but if you use people you know, then the game gets dangerous. I have seen friendships and whole relationships destroyed over it. But on the other hand, it's helped other friends realize that they're queer, so that's fun. Are they queer, or are they just horny boys? Oh, leave the poor boy alone. Now, are you going to be making the Thanksgiving meals over at your church? Your wife invited me over for that. It'll be fun to be serving the food rather than getting it. Oh, nah, I'm working the fire shift that day. Aren't you the chief? Yeah, but I don't like forcing others to take those shifts if I ain't willing to do it myself. In fact, my wife at the church, she ain't just feeding the homeless and hungry. She makes meals for folks like me, and nurses and doctors and customer service and other staff working holidays so they don't feel left out. And my workaholism is what inspired it. Oh, that is so sweet. And that's why I married her. Okay, I've got a gay addition. Shoot. Henry Cavill, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Benedict Cumberbatch. You couldn't have added someone a little closer to my age range? Idris Elba, Ian McKellen? Sir Ian seems like a nice one. Bed Henry, wed Ben, behead Joe. Not even a little hesitation there? Look, I say this as a straight man who's never even thought about experimenting before. If Henry Cavill wants to tie me down and use his sexy Geralt voice on me, who am I to say no? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I feel totally confident saying that none of you are straight. Did you want to do a double date thing with Patrick and Janine this Friday? Sure, but not this Friday. I think Pat and Kenny are hanging out, but you and I can do something. I just got a new book. I can read it aloud to you. I love it when you talk nerdy to me. Hey, welcome to CaFae Latte. Are you Blue Johnson? That's my legal name when the US government demanded I put something on the paperwork, yeah? Really? You couldn't have come up with something more original? Boss went with Violet Smith. I know a Green Michaels, a Gold Miller, a Brown Cotton. Are you still a defense attorney? I'm barred and certified, yeah. You are? Something up? Okay, look, my boyfriend went missing a few days ago after his morning jog, and the police think I did it when I didn't, and I can't afford a good lawyer, but the public defender I spoke to said he wasn't sure how to represent a Native woman, even though I think that's bullshit, but I heard you did a lot of pro bono work. Oh, slow down. Okay, first things first. Have you been arrested yet? No. Okay. What have you told the police? Just that I didn't do it and wouldn't tell them anything until I had a lawyer. Good. And what's her name? Rebecca. Okay, Rebecca, you and I are going to talk. I'm going to get some info on this case, and then we'll figure it out from there. I won't charge you anything except snacks. Thank you. Ritu, can you tell Boss I'm clocking out? Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. You're a lawyer? Yeah, I got a ton of degrees when college was still cheap, law being one of them. I'm barred and licensed and everything. You should see his track record. He mostly specialized in civil rights cases for fairies and queer people and people of color, especially in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And you work in a cafe. You ever tried doing that much paperwork with dyslexia? Let me tell you, it does not spark joy. Rebecca Blackbear, happy Friday. Thank you for finally agreeing to speak with us. Your lawyer mentioned that you'd be willing to take a truth potion? Oh, we insist, actually. We also want a control to ensure the potion's validity and a urine test immediately after to prove that she hasn't ingested a potion that can counteract the truth serum. The control is what my partner is here for. He and Rebecca will both drink the truth potion provided to us by the local witch coven. Once we confirm that it's live, I'll start asking questions. Awesome possum. Have fun. I hear they taste terrible. Like sludge. Tell me this phone case is white. Your phone case is... It's... Can't do it. Your case is... I'm trying to say hot cherry red and I can't get it out. Perfect. Okay, Rebecca, did you kill your boyfriend Xavier Brown? No, I don't even know if he's dead. He just went missing. When was the last time you saw him? Monday morning. He threatened to beat me if I didn't have his lunch ready when he got back from his morning jog. Don't look so shocked. I filed several reports against him, but nobody did anything. We did notice that. Did you notice that he was cheating on you with a woman named Anne? I suspected, but couldn't have said for sure. And did you want to hurt your boyfriend for that? I don't care if he got hurt. I just wanted to get out without getting killed. I was making a plan with my friends over on the reservation. We were figuring out the best places for me to stay and hide, how I could bail to a different state if needed, how I could get money. I know, we contacted them. They all have alibis. So when my client asked you for help getting out of her abusive situation, you did nothing, but as soon as you think she might have done something violent to get out of it herself, suddenly you've got your act together and can do a whole investigation? That tracks. We didn't have any evidence against Xavier, and you have even less against my client. Rebecca, did you ask or tell anyone to kill or hurt Xavier for you? No, and I don't know anyone who would be able and willing to do that. Hey, guys, sorry to interrupt, but, we found the boyfriend's body. Spill the tea! How did our dear Xavier die? They've still got to do a full autopsy, but it's looking like starvation or exposure. Boring. I must have gotten lost while out hiking? I mean, that would make sense, except the wooded area was less than 10 square miles with civilization in easy reach. And I hate to say anything, but he knew that area inside and out. Him getting lost in there is like you getting lost in your backyard. We're running tests to see if he was drugged or magicked. Did you drug or enchant Xavier? No. Did you plant a cursed or enchanted object on him? No, I wouldn't even know how to do that or where to get that kind of thing. Hold up. You're Lakota, right? Yeah. And all of this happened near Lakota land? That's where you found the body? Yes. You ever hear of Deer Woman? Wait, so you're Dakota? Lakota, and half. How the fuck did I not know this? Is that why you're a werewolf? No, that comes from the Irish side of the family. Are you related to the seafood guy, Wolver? No, he's Scottish, or at least from a super specific part of Scotland whose name I can't remember. Hey, Patrick, I hate to bother you, but we're short-staffed and I think we have a situation. Shoot. Pretty sure someone spiked that woman's drink. See ya, Kenny. Yeah. Hey, excuse me, ma'am? Hey, whoa. Hands off my girlfriend. Girlfriend, huh? This is my girlfriend. She's had a little too much to drink, as you can see, so I'm just gonna drive her home. Really? Yeah, really. I keep telling her she can't hold her liquor. You mind if I see some pictures on your phone? Yeah, what? Well, she's your girlfriend, so I assume you have some pictures of her on your phone. I'd like to see them. Look, buddy, I appreciate you stepping up, but I really don't like what you're implying. You're going to like it a whole lot less if you don't back off. I mean, if you had your eyes on her too, I don't mind sharing. Ooh. Kenny, do me a favor. Grab the guy's wallet. Seriously? You don't usually indulge in robbery. I just need a picture of his ID. You can put it back. Ah, you want me to send it to Bob? Yep. Done. Need any more help? Nah, go play darts. I know you've been wanting to show those poor boys over there how it's done. Hell yeah. I'll call Bob too, let her know what's up. If you're not out of my sight in 5 seconds, I'm gonna start removing the limbs from your body like a bug. Alright, ma'am. Let's get you to my couch so I can check to make sure you don't choke on your vomit. You have hooves for feet. You're telling me that there's this magic Indian deer person who hunts down abusive assholes? I mean, she does other stuff too, but yeah, Deer Woman is immortal, a shapeshifter, and has some other magic that's mostly a mystery. When she has a target, she'll typically lure him away and do some sort of enchantment on him that makes it so he forgets to do things like eat, sleep, take care of himself.
He becomes a zombie, totally catatonic, and just completely wastes away. It's easier for her to do it in or near the wilderness, obviously, but there have been a few cases where her victims have been found in city apartments. One guy died of thirst in a bathtub full of water. Yeah. My elders told me those stories. You think she got Xavier? I can't prove it, but given what we know, yeah, I'd put good money on it. Well, we'll see what the autopsy says. Are you done interviewing my client? Yeah, you both can go. We'll call you if we have any further questions. Just make sure you're stocked up on truth potions. So, I'm assuming that was a promising young woman situation where you were using yourself as bait specifically for that guy? I've been tracking his movements for a month, yes, and it takes far more than one little pill to knock me out. Sorry. Who is this Bob character you and your friend mentioned? She's a fairy, really powerful. She just needs a person's full name and she can ruin their whole life. I would like to speak with her. Patrick! I just received Kenny's message about that character from the bar. I was just about to do a binding curse on him. Hey, Bob. Yeah, about that. I made a friend who would like to talk to you. Toshawan, is that you? Anakite. I haven't heard from you in decades. Did Patrick get in the middle of your latest hunt? He did, but I can't say I'm too upset at the poor boy. He was, after all, doing the right thing. The information he sent you about that man. I was merely going to curse him so that he cannot do any physical, emotional, or psychological harm upon any living being outside of self-defense for the rest of his life. Shall I make it nastier? He's responsible for the assault of 3 women that I know of, all indigenous. Ill luck, ill health, and ill fortune until complete and total redemption it is, on top of the binding. He can enjoy a miserable, sickly life of poverty until he stops wanting to inflict harm on people. I feel I should warn you, Cyrus, my ward, most commonly called Blue until recently, he had to represent a woman accused of killing her boyfriend that, given the information he shared with me, seems to have been a recent victim of yours. But the police believed she was responsible. They always do. That's why I told her to hire your boy as her defender. Oh, you did? Well, I told her in a dream to search your area specifically. Those types of suggestions tend to stick with them when they wake up. Guess who shows up at the top of the search engine when you type defense attorney pro bono in your area? I see. Just give us a little warning next time, please. Sorry, it was a last-minute thing. Have a good night. Good evening. I don't know why I'm surprised that you two know each other. So, you just hung out with Deer Woman? It was the least I could do after totally botching her plans. I mean, to be honest, I didn't think she'd say yes, but she did, so we played Xbox and had pancakes. It was a fun night. Did you win at the Xbox? I'm not answering that without a lawyer present. I'm your lawyer. Still not saying. Okay, so not only did you lose, you lost badly. Good to know. How did Janine take it? I mean, she didn't get jealous that you were hanging out with another woman or something, did she? No, she thought the whole thing was hilarious. I assume your client's good to go? Yeah, Rebecca's totally cleared. And she paid me in a big jar of wajapi and a stack of fry bread. Yum. Hey, whoa. What's wajapi? It's like a thick berry sauce that the Dakota came up with. My dad would make it all the time. It's so good. Cranberry sauce can eat its heart out. Whoa, I know you have conflicted feelings about Thanksgiving, but leave the deliciousness of cranberry sauce out of it. Oh yeah, I always loved that canned stuff. Be glad you didn't mention that over Thanksgiving. You would have gotten an hour-long lecture from my father. Yeah, Charlie's pretty passionate about stuff like that. Can't blame him, though. I didn't even know you could make homemade cranberry sauce, and his stuff is good. You share a name with your girlfriend's dad? Yeah, but with everyone calling me JC, nobody really notices. How was your guys' Thanksgiving, by the way? Really good. There was a lot of arguing. Oh shit, really? What the hell do you mean aliens aren't real? The universe is huge. There's gotta be something out there. Now, there is absolutely no evidence to support life on any other planet, and if there was, the chances of them being at least as biologically and technologically advanced and complex as us are even slimmer. Bullshit. Oh, sure, says the baker. Please tell me which of my advanced astrophysics courses are incorrect. You can't say the universe is infinite and then say, except for this one specific thing in particular, is absolutely out of the question, despite the fact that we've never gone further than our own moon. Besides, I refuse to believe that we're the only living things in the whole damn universe. See, there's that word, believe. Belief is great, but only until the facts back it up. It just seems so narcissistic to me. It is what it is. Abby, help me out. I am not going to say there's no way extraterrestrial life exists, nor am I going to confirm that it does without evidence, especially when I have bigger problems closer to home. The makeup brand that I was telling you about that touted itself as being so inclusive and great for all skin tones made me look like a ghost. I was so disappointed. Oh, I've heard of that. I follow a ton of beauty influencers, and it just broke my heart, especially seeing some of my favorites try and they get so disappointed. I don't have to tell you how limited makeup options are for people of color. Honestly, these days, whenever I hear that a makeup brand is inclusive, I'm just assuming they're lying to try to get diversity points. I get that. Like, obviously, I can't use black beauty influencers' specific types of makeup or follow all of their advice because I'm not black, but I do try to support the brands that they prove really are inclusive, so I have a list for you if you want it. They're either really small businesses or huge international brands. Yes, I do want that list. Do you have blush ideas too? Because the set I got for my birthday is basically chalk. Why even bother with makeup? It feels weird and takes up too much time and money. Girl, I thought you were a professional artist. We are but canvases that we can use a bunch of pretty colors on. Oh, honey, I've been losing that battle for almost 30 years. She's not gonna budge. Have you ever had a boyfriend who insisted that you go natural? Oh my god, yes! And then he had the gall to tell me that I looked tired. Like, no, this is just my face. My boyfriend before Charlie hated that I wore makeup, but also hated how I looked without it. You just can't win. The only people who've ever complimented me on my makeup is other women. What? Just a sec, Charlie. Hey! And my sibling, who steals my makeup. What, I can't help that I look prettier than you. Bitch! That wasn't arguing. That was some of the most fun Kelly and I have had during a holiday in ages. In fact, I know exactly what I'm getting your dad for Christmas. What? Science fiction novels? Science fiction novels! All aliens all the time, the more ridiculous, the better. I've got Rex if you want them. And I've got spicy ones, but only if he's going to be cool about it. He already has Ice Planet Barbarians.
And here is your Persephone Kiss Latte. Happy holidays. Holy hell, this is not slowing down.
Hi, I'm sorry. I have a problem.
If you tell me to say Merry Christmas instead of Happy Holidays, I will feed you to our dragon.
I'm sorry?
It happens every year. Every year, I say Happy Holidays because I'm an atheist who's dating a Buddhist, and we work with a combination of pagans, Jews, Christians, and Muslims, and that's just behind this counter. I haven't even gotten to the customers. So I say Happy Holidays because you don't know what someone celebrates, and every year, we get at least one asshole who tells us, it's Merry Christmas, don't discriminate, you're anti-Christian. Like, no, Christmas is one of the holidays. It's included, and no one is saying you can't say Merry Christmas any more than Ritu can't say Happy Hanukkah. You're literally just crying over nothing.
There's a hair in my muffin.
Would you like a different muffin?
That or a refund, whatever's easier.
You were blueberry? Yeah, I'll get you a new one.
One of those days, huh?
One of those weeks. Here's a fresh muffin. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. I work retail and had the Black Friday shift.
Oh.
Yeah, know your place, peasant. Merry Christmas.
Fuck off. Hi, welcome to CaFae Latte. We've got cinnamon rolls, dragonfire muffins, and you are my middle school guidance counselor? Drek? Wow, I haven't seen you in years. Hey, Mrs. Williams, how's it going? Oh, not bad, can't complain. You must be in high school? Graduated last year. I'm not going into college just yet. Might do trade school? I don't know. Trade school's a good choice. Not enough people do that, in my opinion, especially since a lot of them pay their students to attend rather than the other way around. Really? Oh yeah, they do. But of course, you've got to be ready to get your hands dirty all day, every day. Well, I'm already a dishwasher, and I also work part-time as the Sphinx's workout partner out in the forest, which has been serial killer free for over a month now. It's a bit of a low bar, but a good one to clear. I guess my biggest concern is how homophobic those industries are. Oh, you are gay. I saw that coming. Was no one surprised but me? Honey. The teachers had a betting pool on when you'd come out. Them too? Who won? I don't know. I quit a year or two after you went to high school. Burnout. It was bad. Now I work retail. That's good? so good. Way more relaxing. It's the holiday season. Yeah, and I haven't had to call CPS once. I'm not buried in administrative drama, and I'm immune to all Karens and entitled parents, no matter what they do. They promoted me to manager last year. My old principal's been trying to get me back with pay raises and whatnot, and I turn them down every time. It's just not worth it. Fair enough. Welcome to CaFae Latte. What are we having? Hi, could I get a Persephone's Kiss latte, a pistachio chocolate chip cookie, and do you have anything dog friendly? Yeah, actually, we've got homemade dog biscuits that are basically just peanut butter and oats for $1 a pop. One of those, please. Sure thing. On the register for you. Hi, sweetie. I'd pet you, but you have a service dog vest. Yes, you do. I'm working too, so I don't get petted either. Not while the apron's on, anyway. But at least we both get treats. Although my boyfriend usually steals them, but sometimes he steals them for me. We'll have your drink and snacks out shortly. Thank you. Come on, Mr. Maple. Oh my god, what a cute dog. Hi, sweetie. I'm sorry, could you not pet him? What? Why not? He's so sweet. He's a service dog, and I need him to concentrate. Well, he's clearly not. You're not blind. There are a ton of other uses for service dogs, a lot of them dealing with invisible disabilities or even deadly allergies. In my case, Mr. Maple alerts me when I'm about to have a fainting spell, giving me time to sit and get on the ground so I don't fall on something, like the corner of a coffee table that gives me a concussion and 6 stitches. Well, if he's doing such a good job, then he deserves to be petted. I assure you he gets plenty of pets at home when the harness comes off, but right now, out in public, I need him to focus on his job. Dogs don't have jobs, okay? They're dogs. Not letting him be petted, you're towing the line of animal abuse. Maybe I should call the authorities on you, make sure his home life really is any good. You're gonna call the cops just because I won't let you pet my dog? I have every right to pet your dog. I'll bet you're not even disabled. You're just making it up so you can be a bitch. That's enough. She's not letting me pet her dog. You're the owner of this cafe. You should ban her. I'll do no such thing. She explained to you why she needs the dog and why you cannot distract it. Oh my god, I just want to pet it. It's allowed. Not in this case. And unless you learn to respect animal and animal owner autonomy, you will be unable to pet any animal for 2 years. Yeesh, I'd just roast him. I have 3 dogs at home. You can't make me not pet them. Go try and see. You'll either trip and fall on your way or they'll simply run away from you. I've got a Persephone's Kiss latte, a cookie, and a dog biscuit. Thanks. Ooh. Yeah, okay, Mr. Maple. I'm going down on the floor. Good boy. Oh dear, do you need help? No, I just need to stay down here until my blood pressure stabilizes. Oh. I'll bring you your order. Ritu, I thought she only bought 1 dog biscuit, not 2. Protector of the Realm bonus for service dogs? Fine. Why are there cushions on the ground? Bob added some new decor after a customer had a mild medical emergency and had to sit on the ground for a bit. She was fine, but Bob decided that she didn't want any future guests to have to sit directly on the floor, so floor cushions. Good for pets, too. Makes sense. Hot chocolate, please. You got it, I just have to finish the guy in front of you. No rush. Oh, your usual then? Yeah, it's how I met my partner. They're the baker. Oh, that's adorable. Thank you. So, where are you from? I'm local. Right, but where's your family from? My mom's from South Dakota and my dad was born here. Right, but where are their families from? My mom's parents are from Chicago and my dad's are from Louisiana. Right, but... Oh my god, it doesn't matter. She's from here and her family's from here. That's all you need to know. And you're not even entitled to that much. I'm just trying to figure out where she really comes from. It's natural curiosity. Minnesota. I'm from Minnesota. That's not... Okay, you've never done one of those DNA test things to find out what part of Africa your family's from? No, and I have no interest in doing that. Your European ancestors did everything in their power to ensure that I would feel no connection to my African ones. You don't then get to say that I'm not actually from this land that my family has quite literally built with their blood, sweat, and far too many tears while disguising it as curiosity. Whoa, you're making it sound like I'm a racist. It's 'cause you're acting like a racist. Here's your order. Don't ask random strangers about their genealogy. It's not your business. Although I will admit, I'm kind of surprised you never went digging into your family. I'd assume that kind of thing is right up your alley. My family records are very difficult to track even after the 1860s. But we did it anyway, tracing Mom's side of the family to a Civil War soldier that we're pretty sure was an escaped slave, and Dad's side to an enslaved family in a plantation in the 1830s. Since the United States stopped directly stealing and importing people in 1808, it's safe to say that we've been here at least that long, possibly even since or before the American Revolution. Since most people who ask me where I'm really from have ancestors who only came here in the 20th century, by their logic, I'm more American than them. Cheers to that. Hey Bob, I found one of the envelopes that you used to give us our checks, but I can't make out who it's supposed to go to. I mean, it looks like it's been under the desk for a while. Ah, this was Eric's last check. In the chaos of his arrest, this must have literally slipped through the cracks. I never found the missing check, but I did notice the discrepancy in our records, so I wrote him a new one. Ah, you haven't visited him. Nope. You? No, and I don't believe Cyrus has either. He shouldn't. Let the fucker rot. Different people have different responses to such betrayal. Cyrus is unfortunately rather practiced at letting tragedy and harm roll off his shoulders. I rather miss Eric. He was entertaining. Yeah, he was. Bastard. How much did you pay him anyway? Less than you, seeing as you have more responsibilities. I believe he was just over $20 an hour to your 24, before taxes and benefits, plus tips. Why? Just checking. I'd hate to have to lead a strike for fairer wages against you. Hold on. You pay your employees over $20 an hour? Yes. Poverty wages in Minnesota are $7.24. Minimum wage is $10.85, but to live comfortably in today's economy, it takes $21.45. And that's for one adult with no children. My wages, plus the tips so generously given by customers, even when the tip jar is invisible, ensure that they get at least that much. This isn't even a real job. You want to come back here and make an endless string of baked goods for ungrateful Karens? I'm just saying, you shouldn't be paying food service more than EMTs. You're right. EMTs and other such professionals should also be paid a living wage, preferably higher. Unfortunately, we live in a society where that does not happen. I cannot affect EMT wages, but I can and do control my staff's wages. And as manager and owner, it is my responsibility to ensure they are properly compensated for their work, are healthy, and have the ability to live safe, comfortable lives. Whether or not they appreciate that is a totally different matter. I just don't think it's fair. It's even less fair to punish my employees because of the injustices of the world. I want a hard-working, loyal staff. The best way for me to do that is to pay them at least a living wage, as well as health benefits, decent work hours, and basic respect. Anything less, and they'll leave. Or if you're a military commander, mutiny, which is a much bloodier mess to deal with. Best to prevent both. Whatever. How many mutinies have you had to put down? Let's just say I was a slow learner in my youth. Hey, what's with this sign about a Kickstarter? We're not doing one of those, are we? Not us, no. But the person who makes our candles is. Whereas by Fiend is hoping to expand their store. More candle smells? That, as well as soaps, perfumes, and colognes. And obviously those who back the project get them before anyone else. This is going to be like one of those things where we're giving money to a soulless corporation only to find out they make their workers pee in bottles or butcher baby seals for profit, is it? No, everything is ethically sourced and made. Nice. But the Kickstarter does end in 3 days. Alright, we're almost closed. Normally I'd be gently nudging customers to the door, but I assume you're driving Jennifer Charles home? I can move if you want me to. You're fine, right where you are. You guys going to the Yule party on Stoughton? Oh my god, yes! I haven't been to one of those in forever. Oh, the food is incredible. You're gonna have a blast. I'll bow out, but it sounds like a lot of fun. Do give my best to Mike. Yeah, we will. I assume you guys want me to make those mint chocolate cookies? What other reason is there to invite you? I think we can start mopping. Oh, I spoke too soon. Welcome to CaFae Latte. We close in 10 minutes, but we can still make you something. I need to speak to the fairy witch. I am she. Krampus stole my son. Krampus is here. Krampus is real. What the hell is a Krampus? How do you not know who Krampus is? Well, he wasn't in any of the Hallmark movies my mom made my siblings and me watch growing up. Krampus is basically the anti-Santa Claus. While Santa rewards good kids, Krampus punishes bad ones. Badly. That's the myth medieval and Victorian parents perpetuated to keep their kids in line, but at the end of the day, he'll eat any kid he can get his hands on. Eat? Yeah, and he does it with, like, this magic ritual, too. It's how he stayed immortal for the last several centuries. You eat the kid and gain some of the years they would have lived. You know, I feel like if Eric had heard about this, he might have made a whole different set of mistakes. I'm sure we'll find him. Nicole's already doing a divination spell. Here you are, Beth. Thank you. Why haven't you gone to the police with us? I did. They're dragging their feet. My son has problems with authority. He threw rocks at their cars a couple of weeks ago. I guess they're still salty about it. Shocker. Bob, why haven't you gutted this Krampus guy before now? Normally, Nicholas keeps him in line, but with the rising population keeping him increasingly busy over the last few decades, this must have fallen by the wayside. Doesn't help that the guy keeps his head so far down that most people think he's a myth. Even other paras don't even think he's real. Yeah, I'm down for a goat barbecue. We need to locate him first. I need to make some calls. I know it's not your usual prey, but I do believe this problem is worthy of the wild hunt. While I am currently in the middle of subduing a ghost horde over Lake Superior, mostly sailors who want to drag other ships down with theirs, once that's handled, I'll come over. Hey, Pat! How do you feel about hunting a child-eating goat man? Krampus is in town? Hell yeah! Janine! Baby! Forget about the movie. I've got a better idea for date night. Well, I can ask around, especially among the shifters and other pairs in the wilder parts. Hey, Zatha, no, don't burn Mommy's dress. But that's still a lot of ground to cover. Okay, I know it's not your usual MO, but the sooner we get this guy, the greater chance we have of saving this kid. He eats children? Oh, I'm in. We'll find your son. Bob literally just summoned an entire army of immortal hunters who specialize in ghosts and unruly dead. This will be nothing. You don't even know where he is. I found something. What do you see? Kuchiching State Forest. Whew, that's a big one. Yeah, but with Patrick and Raythu's ground troops sniffing around, it shouldn't be too long to find a trail. He's underground too, some sort of cave. I saw a waterfall and a cage. Cages mean locks. Jennifer Charles, I seem to recall your proficiency in breaking into those. You'll be the extraction. Cool. So does this Krampus guy have any specific weaknesses? Silver, iron, the blood of a specific magical creature? No, anything will do. And I do have spare bullets in the false wall behind the bleach. You don't use guns. No, but you do, and we handle these types of adventures with alarming frequency. You'll also find a spare shotgun and 9mm with corresponding ammo as well. Okay then.
Eat your dinner or I'll kill you faster.
You'd have done that already if it was an option. Besides, I'm not eating mushrooms, they're gross.
This was so much easier in the medieval era. Look, kid, no one's coming to get you. The only options you have are how unpleasant your last day of life is going to be.
Staring at your ugly mug already makes it unpleasant. I hate this. I hate waiting. I know, but you've already done everything you need to do. Raythu's flying everyone over to the forest while it's being searched by Patrick, Janine, Deer Woman, and all the shifters that Raythu's family has been protecting for centuries. I wouldn't be surprised if they had the trail before they even landed. How many waterfalls are there in this fucking forest? Well, it's Minnesota, which has more shoreline than California and Oregon combined, which means a shit ton of rivers and lakes, especially in a state forest that shares a border with Canada and 500,000 square miles. I'll bet they don't have this problem in Delaware or Rhode Island. No, they just have astronomical prices. Hey guys, I found the scent. Excellent. Everyone, silence. Especially you, Jennifer Charles. I'm bored.
Cranky! You know, if you're gonna lock a kid in a cage, you should at least give him a Game Boy or something.
Jesus, kid, it's like you're asking to be butchered. Who the hell are you? I'm the one busting you out while my friends distract Krampus. He really shoved you in a cage. With a lock. You gonna shoot it? Nah, much safer to just pick it open. Ugh, boring. Yep. Why are you rescuing me? I'm a bad kid. Even my mom says I'm not worth the effort. I was shooting guns and drugs when I was only a few years older than you, and I stole from my family to pay for the habit. Should I have been eaten alive by a creepy goat man? Well, that depends. I haven't actually eaten any of his cooking yet. Alright, smartass, let's get you out.
Ritual's finally set up. Hopefully killing the kid will get rid of the headache he gave me.
Good evening, Krampus.
Violet! And you're good for nothing but a snack ward.
Hey, Cranky.
Did old Nick set you on me? I didn't realize you were his lapdogs.
No, Ethan's mother asked us to step in.
Oh, that is rich. Seriously? She called you?
Why are you surprised?
Because she's the one who sold me her son in the first place.
Shit. I just got a text. They've located the cave your son is in. Won't be long now. That's good. Let's get you some more coffee. And me some more coffee, too. Hosnia, I did a little more divination and got a vision. It's not from the future. Are you sure about this? All right then, stay out of sight and start recording on your phone. Here we are, fresh caffeinated goodness. Thank you. So, is Ethan your only child? Yeah, his father bailed while I was pregnant, so it's just me and him. Oh, that must have been rough. I'm happily married with 3 children, and even I sometimes feel like dropping them on someone else's doorstep. Oh, God forbid you say that, because then you're a bad mother. Oh, please. Frustration with one's children is perfectly natural. Why do you think there are so many famous cases of mothers killing their kids? If you don't have a proper support network, it's only a matter of time before you snap. And then it's your fault for not getting the help that nobody offered you. Even worse when you're broke. Right? I remember studying history back in high school, hearing all these stories that usually happen in wartime or right before things like the French or Russian Revolution, where you have parents selling their children to the highest bidder just to be able to feed themselves, especially in winter. I mean, it's heartbreaking. No one should be forced to make that choice, but everyone talks about a mother's instinct, how they'll die for their children. But if it looks like the kid is going to die anyway, someone might as well survive. Thank you. That's exactly what I thought. Oh. Krampus didn't kidnap my son, exactly. I offered Ethan up. For how much? A magic charm guaranteeing me wealth. He's never going to succeed. Throwing rocks at the cops was just the latest in a long line of bad behavior. He argues with his teachers, messes up the house, and he's even started making friends that are just horrible influences. I'm pretty sure one of them is in a gang or has friends who are. It's only a matter of time before he ends up dead in a ditch. Then why did you come here? I changed my mind. I didn't want my son to die. I called Krampus and tried to give him back the charm, but he laughed at me. So I came here. I assume the police don't know? I didn't even call them first. Didn't want them to find out and lock me up for a small lapse in faith. How was that fair? That is so fucked up. On so many levels.
When has life ever been fair? If your mentor didn't have such a stick up her ass, she might have given you to me when you pissed her off. And don't tell me you never did, or that you never considered it.
I never considered selling or giving away my ward. Hey, I know it's a real low bar, but thanks for not selling me to a cannibal.
You're welcome. Krampus, you can come with us on your hooves or be carried out in pieces. Your choice.
Did he just cause a blizzard in the cave? Probably outside the cave, too. What a dick! Why is it snowing in the cave? Krampus pulled out some sort of snow globe magic trick thing and caused a blizzard. It's looking pretty bad outside. Coward. God forbid you have to fight an adult. Will Raythu be able to fly in this? Oh yeah, they'll just need to get above the clouds. Krampus escaped? Well, you guys suck. He won't be escaped for long, that I can assure you. Really? Oh, really? Okay then. So, how am I going to get back to my mom when it's snowing? She doesn't even like driving in this, and I don't have my boots on. You want to ride a dragon?
Goddamn fairies, like they've never kidnapped human kids for their own ends. That's all the Pharaoh did for centuries. The critical shit's ruining my immortality ritual.
Hello? Is someone there?
Why are you here?
Camping. We do it every year for Christmas. I went out to pee, but then this blizzard happened. Can you help me?
Yeah, come with me, kid. Dang, you're skinny. You should really use some fattening up. Hey, why do you have hooves for feet?
Why do you?
I just need him to come a little bit closer. Don't worry if you miss. It's been a while since Patrick and I have had a good chase. Patience, puppy.
That was awesome. I never want to go anywhere without a dragon again.
I could have done without the loop-de-loops and spinning.
Lame. It's the kid's first dragon ride, right, JC? Spoil sports. We are surrounded by spoil sports. Hey, why is my mom in handcuffs? Of me. Ethan, sweetheart, tell him the truth. You were kidnapped. I had nothing to do with it. Hey, pipe down. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
What's going on?
Oh, I think I'm gonna throw up again. Ethan? Hi, I'm Anna. I'm with Child Protective Services. What the hell are you doing here, lady? Your mother was caught on tape confessing to selling you to Krampus, knowing what he would do. Oh. Caught on tape. Already. The two women in the cafe with her, they got her talking. She didn't notice when one of them started recording, and the witch also saw a vision of it happening, so that's going into evidence too. I'm going to be really impressed with my girlfriend as soon as I stop feeling sick. Ethan, I know this is a crappy situation. You asked what I'm doing here. My job is to make sure that you have somewhere to go with an adult who, well, at the very least, is not going to sell you to an immortality-chasing goat man. Okay. Will it at least have a dragon? Well, there aren't a whole lot of dragons who sign up for the foster care program, mostly because they end up in foster fails and just straight up keep the children. Oh yeah, my cousin did that. I think he's still a foster. Hold on. Ethan, I'm a witch. Take this.
What is it?
It's a protection charm. I made it last minute, which is why it's a pin. So long as you wear it, you won't be in danger like you were tonight.
Huh. Okay.
Well, Merry Christmas to us. What a fucking downer. The kid is away from the parent who literally sold him out, is pretty much guaranteed to find a new family who will help him heal thanks to Nicole, and we killed an immortal child eater. That's a pretty happy holiday in my book.
Fair.
Wait, I thought you said Krampus escaped.
Well, these will make a fine trophy. Ladies, Patrick, did you wish for anything specific?
No, I never take trophies. It's too easy for cops or hunters to track me down that way. I'd say a full stomach is reward enough.
I'll take the cloak. Although it feels somewhat wrong to reward myself for breaking my veganism streak so thoroughly.
It's the holidays. Doesn't count.
You know, it's been a while since we got to chat. I was just about to say that. Things have been weirdly busy, but also kind of quiet.
You mean politically or socially?
Yes. But you know that ICE agent showed up at Nicole's school the other day? I mean, they didn't get in, but it scared the crap out of everyone. She's been making good luck charms and protection charms nonstop and hiding them on all the nooks and crannies, buried in the track field and under the front gate. Now, that's a smart thing to do. You know, if I can be frank, I'd say she should have done that much earlier, you know, with the school shootings and whatnot. I'd say the chances of that happening at an art school are low.
I've been wrong before. Raythu had boss do similar spells to their den. They've been hoarding books, more than usual. With diverse history being scrubbed from the internet, they're making sure that some records, at least, are going to survive this bullshit.
Yeah, that sounds about right. What happened to your pins?
I don't know. I took them off so I could wash my hat for the first time in too long. And now I can't find them.
Aren't most of them knives?
Yes, most of them are knives glamored into pins. But don't worry, I got spares.
Of course you do. Well, now, don't you have one of those TikTok things for your book blogging?
Oh yeah, I've been in overdrive for that. They're gonna try to erase minority history and literature. I'm gonna double down. Fantasy, romance, history, comedy, I got you covered. In fact, one of my favorite authors just dropped a new one last week called The Witch Who Trades with Death. It's a bit tropey, and most of the queer characters are on the sidelines rather than center stage, but still a good read.
So we've heard, anyway. Welcome to CaFae Latte.
Holy shit, Ethan, I was not expecting you.
Well, hello to you too.
Jennifer Charles, you know my rules on swearing, especially around children.
Oh, come on, I hear way worse at school.
Yeah, just wait till I get into high school. I genuinely can't, because so many of my teachers at my middle school stuck with the whole autism accommodation thing, and I don't even need that much accommodating, but they make it this whole deal. I can't say for sure, but from what I've heard, most of the teachers at the high school are better about that kind of thing. Yeah, if nothing else, can't like your witch friend or the fairy lady here get you some sort of spell so you don't have to deal with jerks? My mom wants to see if there's an actual need for that before paying for it. Wait, hold the phone. You three know each other? Yeah, my parents just started fostering, which is how Ethan showed up for reasons. We were the ones who saved him from Krampus. You don't have to tiptoe. Yeah, JC picked the lock, and then I got to ride the dragon's back without being turned pink. Lucky.
Is that jerk still running around? No, last time I saw him, my wife whacked him upside the head for trying to take the neighbor's girl. I followed him on my wings for 20 miles before he disappeared on me, and the cops were worse than useless.
I can honestly say that Krampus is no longer anyone's problem. Yeah, unless he gave Patrick indigestion.
Oh, excellent.
Cool. I never realized that something could be both concerning and reassuring at the same time. Yeah, Ethan's my foster brother now, and because of that, he's now in the same middle school as Ben, who's staying with us while his mom does some sort of girls' night out with the other mom friends. I don't know. She and her friends are staying overnight at the Mall of America.
Ew, why?
I don't know. And I told her that because Miss Bob cursed her with my sensitivity issues, the mall's not going to be fun. But she said she hasn't seen her friends in ages, so she took the headphones and sunglasses, which should help. And maybe the booze will help too. I don't know. She took an Uber. Sometimes you just have to let them touch the hot stove to learn that it hurts. What can we get for you, gentlemen? We're almost closed, but we can get you something to... Oh, hey, Nicole. Hi, I'm here to pick up JC once they're ready. That won't take long. You're usually here way earlier. What gives? I had to stay late grading projects for my advanced painting class. The students have improved a lot since fall. If you haven't cleaned the machine yet, I'll take a hot chocolate. You got it. JC, your ride's here. Are you okay? You're not usually quiet. Huh? Oh, yeah, sorry. Just thinking. Anything bad? No, I don't think so. I mean, we had some kids show up at the cafe. I don't think you met Ethan, but he's doing good. Turns out he's being fostered by Logan's parents. I don't know if you remember him. One of the teenagers who graffitied and vandalized the cafe and got turned hot pink until he fixed it. Yeah, and of course you know Ben. Of course. Well, they showed up and they were being regular, annoying teenagers, but it just made me realize that I don't think you and I have had the kid talk yet. You mean where we sit down and talk about whether or not we want children and make sure ideas for the future broadly align? Yeah, that. You've said multiple times that you don't want children. Yep. Although my finances are actually weirdly good. I'd even say that I'm stable since Bob hired me full-time. And I've seen the way she handles his now. I know we'd be golden on that front. And at this point, it's more a mental health and cycle of abuse thing with a dash of anti-queer political climate. Like, would the orange dictator let me keep any children? For me, children have always been a possibility, but not something I've truly desired. Like, if it happens, it happens. Yeah. And I know Minnesota is a pretty good place to be right now, even with Roe v. Wade gone, but I have no inclination to get pregnant at all. It's just too risky, especially for a black woman. If you were capable of getting pregnant, my chances of dying from complications would be 4 times greater than yours. Jesus! All that to say, I'm pretty firmly in the maybe someday but not today camp, especially given how frequently I'm around children for my day job, so I get enough of that. If I were to go through with it, I'd probably choose adoption, which would negate or at least minimize the chances of you passing on any mental health or addiction issues. Good point. So, not a deal breaker? No. Just checking.
Baby, you know I'm always ready to try new things. I just don't want you to feel uncomfortable or pressure to try something just for my sake. No, I know, and the more we talk about it, the less I feel uncomfortable and the more I feel like an idiot. I mean, we're in our 70s. You'd think that I'd have realized at some point that I might take an interest in...
Good morning! How are my favorite Mississippians? Oh, we're doing just fine. We'll take our usuals in. Darling, did you want anything else?
Nah, I filled up on breakfast. I just need the coffee.
Oscar, why don't you get started on that while I help the next person?
What can I get for you, ma'am?
Yeah, I'll take 2 of those Hellfire muffins. Normally I would bake my own treats, but it's been a long week, so I'll cheat just this once. You won't get any judgment from me. And don't worry, everything here is handmade from scratch in the back by our own baker. Nothing's coming from a factory or loaded with preservatives. Well, that's relief. My son just turned 3 years old, so I hosted this great big birthday party with a fire truck theme and invited all the family and friends. We were pretty much gorged on pizza and cake, all made from scratch, of course.
Oh, that sounds so fun, and also like a lot of work. I need to hammer out the details for my daughter's birthday.
Your daughter? Oh, yeah, she's turning 5 next month. Oh, how time flies. And her siblings, my twins, they just turned 1. We kept that party small and basic. They won't remember it. But for Koala, obviously, you have to put in more effort.
Ain't she the one in love with mermaids?
Oh, not just mermaids. She loves anything to do with the ocean. Fish, whales, sharks, stingrays. Asif had the idea to take her to Sea Life at the Mall of America, that huge aquarium, and then, of course, ice cream afterwards. So we're probably going to surprise her with that.
Oh, now that just sounds like a lovely idea. And you know, my grandbaby, she's 17 and already got a good deal of experience with babysitting. So if you want, I can give you her phone number. I'm sure she'd be happy to watch her twins for the afternoon.
You know what? We might just take you up on that. Koala loves her sisters, but when one gets fussy and starts crying, then the other one starts crying, and then she starts crying, and then I start crying, and my poor husband has to deal with all of us.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Oh, you make your husband help you look after your children? He's their father. If I had to make him spend time with his children, I would have divorced him years ago. But that's not his job. That's your job. His job is to provide. Well, unfortunately, we do not live in an economy where one paycheck covers an entire household, which is why I'm here giving you your muffins. I'm sure he could make more money if he wasn't spending so much time babysitting.
Man, you've only just met this woman, and you haven't met her husband or daughters at all. You know nothing of her life and so can't be sure of anything. This would be like me giving lumberjack advice when I've never chopped a tree in my life. Here are your coffees.
Thank you, handsome. And speaking from a husband's perspective, much as I appreciated my wife looking after the children and then later grandchildren, it was also my responsibility and privilege to look after them whenever I could. And we were much like Kuznia here, needing more than one paycheck, except we was in the pits of poverty. Now, if we could have been on a one-check household, I'd have made her do it. Easy. So I could spend more time with my family. Darling, you volunteer to run into burning buildings. You wouldn't have lasted a day. I'd have made it a week. Oh God, the woke nonsense has even reached the elderly. Well, ain't she a charmer? Anyway, Oscar, baby, this Sunday our church is having a pancake brunch after the service. We were wondering if you wanted to come join us.
Oh, is that this Sunday? With the Unitarians?
Well, as long as you don't mind me hitching a ride, I may finally have an apartment, but the car's still out of reach. We'll pick you up in the morning. Assalamu alaikum. We have about 45 minutes before daybreak, so if your breakfast was a little light, we can fix that. Wa alaikum salam. Luckily, my stomach is full, but I do need caffeine. Although, girl, it's Layla Al-Qadir. What, is your boss making you work? I'm only covering the morning shift. I'll be gone before noon. The dragon caught a cold, and you do not want fiery snot balls. In that case, we appreciate your sacrifice. I'll take an Eldritch Smash, large, right there on the screen for you. And while the furry management is not a fan of tits, she does believe in charity, which you can see on the screen. It was not hard to convince her to choose Palestine for Ramadan. It's the UNRWA, one of the more trustworthy ones. Oh, I gave them my zakat this year. Good choice. So, are you new to Islam? Oh, no, I was born into it. Most of my family was. And they never told you that we're not allowed to be queer? If Allah did not want queer Muslims, he would not have made queer people. I and my husband were born queer, but we choose to be Muslim, something often made difficult by queer folks. Wow, I'm not a queer phobe. I love my LGBTs. It's just not allowed in Islam. Excluding queer people from your religion, no matter how polite you are about it, is still queerphobia. You're just using your religion to mask it. The Christians do it all the time, as have the Jews and the Hindus and Buddhists, and pretty much every religion has used faith to mask their hate and motives for exclusion. You can't claim to love or tolerate people and then shun them, especially not in the name of Allah and his prophets who preached peace and compassion. I just don't see why you have to advertise it. You said you have a husband, so you're not being queer. Yes, I am. Being married to a man does not make me any less pansexual. It doesn't negate the girls I courted beforehand or the fact that both Sean Beam and Shakira appear in my dreams. I don't hide the fact that I'm pan for multiple reasons. It's part of who I am, as much as being Muslim. It signifies that I'm safe for other queer people to talk to, a safety rarely given to them by religious people or institutions. And unlike a few decades ago, I don't have to hide it. Previous queer Muslims had to hide and lie to their communities so they wouldn't be executed, or at the very least ostracized. We don't have to do that anymore. Usually, depending on your location and circumstances. It's a work in progress, and it's uncomfortable unlearning all of that polite queerphobia, but it must be done. Your Eldritch Smash. Huh. Have a blessed Ramadan. You too. Alright, well, thank you for talking to me about this. I know it ain't exactly comfortable. You're a good sport, Ace. Alright, see you for Easter.
Good morning. Who is that?
Granddaughter, the lesbian one. JC, she loved those cookies. Almost stabbed me with the fork when I tried to steal them. Yes. I'd make them usual, but the display cooler isn't that big, and we like to rotate different treats so it doesn't get boring. I love that you're doing gladiator dates for Ramadan. That is so cute and so delicious. Why do you call them gladiator dates? Because the recipe is literally from the time of the gladiators. They were selling these guys at the Colosseum. They're stuffed with nuts and black pepper. I've got a sunflower seed alternative in case you're allergic. Rolled in salt and then roasted in honey. The flavor profile is so unique. Guarantee you've never tasted anything like it. Well, hell, I'll try serving that with my usual coffee. A sunflower, please. I do got a peanut allergy. Okay, right there on the screen for you. Thank you. Now that pin means you're pansexual, right? Or am I completely mixing them up? Oh, you're not. Good memory. And I think I remember hearing something about JC over there being bi. To the surprise of absolutely no one. Yeah. You mind if I ask a somewhat personal question? We do not promise answers. How do you know? Did you think you were only one way for a while and then you realized you weren't? Or was it always there? It was always there, but I didn't realize it until high school. Once I had a name for it, then I was able to accept it and claim it. Not me. No, I pushed down any and all thoughts of being queer into a tiny little ball wrapped in anger issues and drug addiction until it almost killed me. Now, why on earth would you do that? Queerphobic family. I thought Kelly was fine with it. Kelly's always been cool, and my brother doesn't get it, but he's never actively caused me problems. My parents are Better than they used to be, but they still voted for the orange dictator at least twice, possibly even 3 times, and still don't understand why I'm so pissed at them for it. My older sister and extended family are nightmares. I can see why I'd stay in that closet. I know Cyrus has never been in the closet, at least not with friends and family, but I think that had more to do with being born in the Fae realm and raised by Bob. I don't even think they have gender norms over there. I mean, Faye's got 99 problems, but sexism and queerphobia ain't any of them.
Well, the Cyril farm does have that homophobia. You would think it's still in the 1950s over there, if not earlier. And I never understood why. Everyone's a little gay. There are good, lovely people across the board. You know, I'm happy I had my wife, but before I had a friend who was male. And we probably would have been married instead if people hadn't been so uptight back then. I mean, goodness gracious, you could hardly sneeze and you'd have the whole neighborhood being your business. Well, that's not a very straight thought, is it? I'm gonna guess no.
Nope. Alright, I'm gonna help the next person while you figure out your order.
No, I know what I want.
And I can only get that for you if you tell me what it is. Well, aren't you in a rush?
Yeah, because you got 4 people behind you.
Exactly. They're behind me. I was here first. They can wait. I'll help whoever's next.
Hey!
Thanks. I'll take a medium of white girl tears. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds fun. It's a white chocolate mocha with pixie dust and dragon water on the screen for you. Hey, Bob, can you get that? Do you know what you want?
Yes.
And that is... I forgot. Next.
That's not fair. I was here first.
And that only works if you tell me your order.
But I forgot it.
Silence.
Well, when they notice, they'll only be able to speak freely when they tell you their order. Where's Oscar? He's got so much more patience for these morning rushes. Well, shit. Guess you can teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I better get breakfast started. Biscuits and gravy good for you boys?
Oh, with bacon? Oh, that sounds lovely. Thank you.
Oh, hey, Oscar just pulled up. Yes, I get to clock out. Pull up? He doesn't have a car. Looks like Yarn Granny and her husband drove him. Oh, yeah. Wow, the 3 of them got pretty Whoa. What? Oscar just kissed Yarn Granny. On the mouth. In front of her husband. He is sure it wasn't the cheek and he just missaw? Nope. And now he's kissing Vet Grandpa. Huh. I need more caffeine to deal with this.
Good afternoon.
It must be, given the lighting. Congrats said you knew boyfriend and girlfriend?
Oh, goodness no. Caroline and Andy are friends. I think it's friends with benefits, or maybe an open marriage in their case.
You know their real names?
Now you don't?
I was kind of convinced that they, or at least Yarn Granny, were ancient fae or eldritch beings and didn't really have mortal names, and it'd be rude to ask at this point.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Yeah, honestly, same.
Oh, now that's just silly.
Hi, welcome to CaFae Latte. The new drink specials are on the board, including a really tasty rose matcha. We've also got blueberry muffins coming out of the oven soon, piping hot. Well, those muffins sound good, but the prices are kind of high. Yeah, everything's getting more expensive, including ingredients. JC doesn't even use eggs anymore. They substitute with applesauce or pumpkin puree, which we get a lot cheaper in bulk. We also have the Neighbors account, which you can donate to or pull from. Basically, it gets you 1 free coffee and or pastry. I'm not that desperate yet. I'll just take a medium vanilla latte, 2 extra flavor pumps. Okay, with the extra flavor, that's just over $5, plus tax. Oh, you Jew. No, I'm agnostic. Raised Christian. Raithu's Jewish. Hi. Here are some more dishes, Drek. Have you seen Bob? Right here. Everyone's paycheck should have gone out yesterday. Oh, that hit. I just needed to speak with you privately after we close. Of course. Have a good night, everyone. All right, Hizdian, just you and me. What's going on? Where's the chair that you enchanted so any who sit on it can only speak truth? In the office. I didn't want a customer to accidentally blurt something out. Oh, here it is. Asif and I are quitting the CIA. Truly. It's not a cover. It's not part of a larger plot. We're not getting transferred. We're done. We wanted to wait until Asif at least had secured another job, but with the escalating insanity coming from the federal government, not willing to help prop up a local dictator, we considered seeing it through until the next election, maybe try to mitigate the damage from within, but if we're already deporting legal residents without a trial, I'm honestly not sure there will be another election, or at least not a fair one. I've been encouraging everyone to update their passports if they can. They won't let Janine do it with her being transgender, so she's had to go through ulterior methods of procuring travel documents. Oh, I think I know the man she used. Oh, he's such a sweetheart. He'll take a lower bribe if you feed him. Anyway, we were hoping I could now start working here full-time with health and dental benefits for my family. The sooner you fill out the paperwork, the sooner I can get you on the schedule. How long have you had this prepared? You know you're not the first agent I flipped. Hey guys. Hey, I haven't seen you in like a month. Where have you been? My aunt. She has cancer. Don't worry, the surgery went well and she's responding to treatment, but it's still kind of kicking her butt. So I've just been helping with chores, a bit of cooking, the odd round of babysitting, and sneaking her candy in the hospital. Well, keep us posted. And if you need me to make extras of anything, let me know. I'll keep Cyrus out of it. Hey, you don't have to do that. Just because I'll steal from you doesn't mean I'll steal from a literal cancer patient. What if I told you I was a cancer? You're not, and astrology doesn't count. So, same old? Yeah. Well, the UK did legally decide that trans women aren't a thing, funded largely by J.K. Rowling and the people who keep buying her shit and giving her attention. ICE is still arresting and deporting legal citizens and are trying to get around or cut through due process. And because they're doing it in plain clothes without identifying themselves, a Florida woman was able to straight up kidnap someone by pretending to be ICE. Here in Minnesota, the state reps are voting on whether or not criticizing or disapproving of Mango Mussolini should officially be called Trump derangement syndrome and treated like a genuine mental illness, which I may have slept through most of my history classes, but that seems like a very bad sign. Yeesh. Any good news? Fizzy started working here full time. Yes! I found my missing pins. They were on my Santa hat. We're selling a recipe journal to go with the cookbook. We got new stuff for Meet Me Boutique. Ooh, date night with Nicole. And we have Chibi Cafe merch available on our website. Use your extra large Algid smash, man. We'll have the muffin out of the oven real quick. You are a lifesaver. Hey, welcome to Cyrus? Hey, Drek. Isn't it your day off? It's Beltane. Yeah, boss is already at the Witch's Coven. I just forgot something. Okay. What are you listening to? Legal text. Brushing up on immigration law. Why? Because even though boss and I are legal citizens, neither of us were born in America, or even on Earth. Oh. Here it is. What is it? Palestinian shawl. 3 of them, actually. One for Rethu, one for Amith, and a little one for Zatha. They're celebrating with us. Amith wants her dragonling to grow up experiencing other religions. Oh, cool. Wait, sorry. Isn't Rethu Jewish? Yep, them and their family. Although Rethu describes themselves as a way more casual Jew in terms of religious observance, while their sister's a lot more rigorous. Okay, don't curse me if I'm wrong, it's way too early in the morning for that, but isn't it offensive to give your Jewish SO a piece of clothing from somewhere hated by Israel and that hates Israel in turn? Not at all. Israel is a nation, Judaism is a religion. Most Jews in the world strongly disapprove of Israel's BS, especially those who survived or are descended from those who survived the Holocaust, because they recognize the pattern. Surviving a genocide does not give you the right to commit one. Okay, that tracks, but I think I read that Hamas is legit an anti-Jewish hate group. Obviously, terrorism doesn't just appear in a vacuum. If they weren't seriously oppressed, they probably wouldn't exist. but they still said and done some gnarly stuff. Yeah, Hamas has done that, not Palestine. Saying that all Palestinians are Hamas is like saying all Americans are maggots. Oh, God. Okay, yeah, point made. Have a happy holiday. Raythu, Corbell, fire of my heart. I'm cold. Yay. How are you cold? It's May, but it's rainy and chilly. You are such a baby. Bold words coming from someone who never takes off their jean jacket. I'm practically a stick figure. Cyrus has actual fat and muscle for insulation. Not nearly enough. Hey, welcome to CaFae Latte. What are we getting? Iced chai? Medium? That's it. Totals on the screen. I'll get that for you. You're wearing a Star of David? Yeah. So you're Jewish? Yeah. You know that's a Palestinian shawl, right? Yeah, that's why I like it. This lug got it for me as a Beltane present. Yeah, I had Boss enchant it, and Amos and Zathos too, to be fireproof. So you're saying that I could just toss this into a fire and then wrap it around you like a heating pad? Well, yeah. The dragon wings are better. You know that's cultural appropriation, right? What, the shawl? No. Yeah, it is. You're not Palestinian, so you don't get to wear it. That's not what that means. Cultural appropriation means taking a symbol, clothing, hairstyle, whatever, without learning about it and using it inappropriately. Cultural appreciation is learning about the significance of, say, the shawl and utilizing it appropriately, especially when the people who made the shawl have been explicitly encouraging allies to wear them in solidarity, especially if you're purchasing from a Palestinian-owned business, which I did. Same with my new pin. Oh, let me see. Pretty shiny. Even Israelis? Yes, but I'm not Israeli. My Jewish ancestry is from the Spanish Peninsula, before the Inquisition booted us out and turned my mom into a pirate. Your mom was a pirate? Lots of Spanish Jews became pirates. They went to the New World to get away from Europe's BS, and while some were able to live legit, others contributed to the golden age of piracy. Mom explicitly went after the Spanish ships, especially the slavers. She made friends with a bunch of Krakens, too. One of them is my godfather. Huh. Can you visit us through the Great Lakes for next Beltane? Hey, Bob, I need to take next Wednesday off. It's Nicole's birthday, and I have a dentist appointment in the morning, too. Of course, just make some extra batters and doughs on Tuesday. Please, Nia, can you pick up those hours? Easily. What are you doing? I got her a llama. Come again? Oh. May I? It's so soft. I know, right? It's so goofy, but I figured she'd like it. She's taking the day off, too, and we're celebrating with her parents. Her dad's birthday is next week, so we're celebrating both of them together. I got him a tie that looks like it's made of bacon. They're hosting brunch, we're all catching up movie Sinners, and then I'm cooking dinner for two. Super chill. She doesn't like anything overly fancy. Oh, I need to see Sinners. I've heard nothing but good things. Oh, hi, welcome to CaFae Latte. Hi. Jamie, you can choose 2 snacks for acing that quiz. Yes. Oh, brownies. Hands off the glass. They have to clean that. It's quite all right. It's what the glass is for. Anything for you? Large coffee, black as sin. And what are those scones? Those look good. Can I have the brownie with the frosting and the gladiator dates? A brownie and a serving of gladiator dates coming right up with the scone and large coffee. We don't have any peanut allergies, do we? No. What's a gladiator? You ever watch wrestling? It was like that, but with swords. Cool. Oh, non-berry. Huh? Sweetie, what did we say about pointing? Sorry, it's just, Mrs. River has the special non-berry flag on the wall, and it's gray and purple and yellow and white, just like that. Non-binary. Very good. Who's Mrs. River? She's my daycare lady. She has a kid who's a grown-up named Remy, and they're non-berry, and they come play sports with us sometimes. We went roller skating yesterday. I almost fell. Yeah? That's really cool. What else did Mrs. River say about non-binary people? So, they're not boys, or girls, so you don't say he or she, you say they or them. And they have the special flag, and they all believe in ghosts. Or they are ghosts? Yeah, I have no idea. Well, we have met several ghosts, so it's not completely wild. You've seen ghosts? I've bought ghosts. But I can assure you that Jennifer Charles is very much alive. Dead names. Oh. That makes sense. Hi, JC. Mom and I are at their house and Dad's starting on brunch. Awesome. Hey, thanks for loaning me your car. I'm gassing you up, so I should be there in half an hour? Don't wait up. We'll save you a plate. Love you. Love you too. What's the ETA? Half an hour. They had a dental appointment. Nothing bad, but they usually go for squishier food after that. Charlie, make sure you make extra pancakes. I have never been more disappointed in an establishment. You're fairies. Yes. Yes, I am. Why is that disappointing? Fairies are vegan. Most fairies are vegetarian, as we do not typically partake in death. And there are certainly more vegan fairies than vegan humans, percentage-wise. But that's all cultural, not biological, and there are always exceptions. In my defense, roasted flesh is very tasty. You are monsters. Hey, I'm also vegan, and she does not speak for me, or even most of us. What? Yeah, you're just being a bitch and giving the rest of us a bad name. They have a bunch of vegan options, and they're all super tasty and objectively well done. That is literally the best we can ask for. Speaking of, can I get another refill? Soy latte with dried blackberry? Of course, on the screen. You are profiting off of abuse and slavery, and you are actively contributing to mass murder. I gotta find a witch to turn you both into animals. See how you like it. Silence. First of all, with glamour, we have been animals. Several animals. Although I typically prefer glamoring others to myself so I can better utilize their skill sets. It's the beauty of delegation. Secondly, you don't get to force your moral code on others. You will get to speak again when you understand that. Cyrus, can you get our other guest her latte? Got it, boss. Hey, you want the last butterless chocolate chip cookie for free? It's totally vegan. Oh, please, I love that stuff. CaFae Latte, how can I help you? Bob, have you seen JC? No, I gave them the day off for your birthday. Why? They haven't shown up and aren't answering my calls. We appreciate your patience. We'll reopen once we've resolved this little family emergency. I assume you've tried divination? I've used every spell I know and even asked Mike. Nothing. I can't even tell you if they're alive or... All right. Deep breath. How long have they been missing? My last phone call with them was 3 hours ago. After that, nothing. What about their cell phone? Do you have a location share? We do. Nothing. What route did they take? Maybe we can have Raythu or Oscar do a flyby? I don't know. But I can send you the dentist they were coming from and my parents' address. Who's Nia? Call Raythu. Cyrus, Patrick, he can track from the ground. Drek, call Oscar. Nicole, have you asked anyone else? No. But I have other people's numbers, their siblings, a couple of friends. Go call them. Maybe they'll know something. Nicole! Oh my god, girl. It has been forever! No, I haven't heard from them in like a week. And that was over text. What happened? I haven't seen or heard from JC since the holidays. Why? No, and I was going to ask if they'd be willing to babysit next week. What's going on? Do you think maybe they crashed and broke their phone? If they did, they would have been taken to a hospital, and the staff would have told their emergency contacts, one of whom is Nicole. 3 hours without contact on well-used roads that someone would have seen and called for traffic congestion, if nothing else. Very unlikely at this point. It could have been ICE. What? They're non-binary, a very vulnerable group right now. They could have been arrested or targeted by a government agency like ICE. But they were born here. They're not an immigrant. And they're white. Do you really think that matters? Crap. I'm gonna call some of my sources. I better call mine, and have a see if ask around too. No offense, but, who could you possibly know that could help with this? CIA, FBI, Homeland Security, and I'm sure at least someone knows someone in ICE. How? Asif and I are former CIA, dear. We were sent to keep an eye on Bob, actually, but quit a few months ago. And yes, Bob knew. Fuck. I could have sworn you were FBI. Are you certain you want to do that? Alright. Do you want backup? Very well. We'll let you know if we find anything on our end. Good luck, Nicole. Anything? Well, I've got 3 new clients pulling me back into practicing law full-time, so after this bullshit, I'll be working here part-time, but no one's heard about JC. Asif and I are still burning through our sources, but we can say for sure that the CIA and Homeland Security don't have them. Asif has a friend who might be able to get the last location of JC's phone, so we're working on that. Oh, and I can pick up Cyrus's hours. Raythu made it all the way from the dentist to Nicole's parents without seeing anything on their route. Oscar and Patrick are going a little slower on the other. Oh, and also Amith called. She's getting in on this too. Who's JC pissed off recently? That's what I've been thinking. The Stone Oaks are almost all dead, but there may be some stragglers. Problem is, they would have gone after you. I'm harder to get to, and they saw JC's face when you guys did that fake deal with the dragon egg. What about the vampire clan? I think I've heard you had problems with them? If it was Vlad, he would have made it known. He's not nearly this subtle. You're not the only one with an abusive ex. Maybe one of JC's popped up, or some of their family, or even a rando who saw the non-binary pin and decided to pick a fight. It's the lack of official response that worries me. If there was a fight that ended in blood, someone would have seen and called the authorities. Has Nicole seen something from the future? Nothing that she's told me. I'll ask her once her meeting is over. Meeting? All right, ma'am, you're clear to visit. You have 1 hour. Thank you. What's up? So JC's been missing for half the day. You can't find them with magic. They're not answering calls, and no other friends or family have had any contact with them today? Yes. We have Raythu, Amith, Oscar, and Patrick out there. We hope that if they find my car, it'll lead us to JC. It's possible. But I don't think that's it. You're overthinking it. How? JC's a drug addict, remember? They've been sober for years. Yeah, well, it wouldn't be the first time they'd fallen off the wagon. And every time they did, it played out exactly like this. They'd fall off the face of the earth for a few days to get high, and then come back either sorry or pissed off. Chances are they'll be back by the weekend with a bunch of apologies and promises that it'll never happen again. If that were true, then I'd be able to find them, but none of my divination is working. So they're using some sort of protection charm to hide from you, because they're ashamed and they know that what they're doing is wrong. If they don't want you to find them, you won't find them. No, JC has been clean for years. If they were going through something, they would tell me, or Cyrus, or Bob, or any number of people. Maybe, but they've been an addict for longer than they've been sober. They're not like that anymore. Yeah, well, we all thought that about me. Look, I know a few undergrounds they might have gone to hide from you, and a few of their old dealers. I'll write you a list. I mean, hell, they might have just gone and fucked off to a whole other realm just to hide from Bob. What? Alright, your audience with the king begins shortly. Be obedient, or you will regret it. Alright, I found you some maps of the Fae realm. Let's hope this works. Wow, I've never seen a map of the whole Fae realm. How many countries are there? Well, the Fae realm is roughly the same size as the mortal realm. How many countries are on Earth? Point. Are we really trusting what Eric told us? No, we're not. I just got the idea from talking to him. If this doesn't work, then we can resort to contacting the people he told me about. Asif is already looking into them, seeing if any are alive and reachable. How would JC even end up in the Fae realm? Isn't the only portal through airports? Permanent portals and known portals are highly regulated, yes, but magic is chaotic and unpredictable. Sometimes portals simply appear or disappear at random, and those are the ones criminals and refugees use. Most law enforcement rely on clairvoyants and witches like Nicole to tell them when such portals appear, but again, due to the nature of magic, it's not always reliable. And there's plenty of stigma around those communities against magic users, so even when they do warn of a portal, it's not always listened to.
Huh. Is that a magic wand?
Yes, carved from a tree from the Fae realm. I've tied some of JC's hair to it, and then you use bones or ruins or Scrabble letters to get more information. If this works.
Can you read that?
I've never been into magic. The runes say prisoner, and the wand says Ive.
Fuck.
What's wrong with Ive? It's Bob and Cyrus's home country, the one that exiled her. Nicole, see if you can get a more precise location and information. I want to know who has them and why. Go.
Yes, Bob. Patrick and I found the car. It's at a gas station on the edge of town next to a little forest. Patrick says the trail leads into the trees and it's only a few hours old.
Do not follow. Contact Rathu and Ameth, and the four of you hold position there. Rescuing one person from the Fae realm will be hard enough. Thanks for loaning me your car. I'm gassing you up, so I should be there in half an hour? Don't wait up. We'll save you a place. Love you. Love you too.
Dang. This gas thing is ancient.
Hello? Can you help me? Yeah, what's going on? I don't know where my parents are. Oh shit, shucks. Did they drive here? Which one's their car? I didn't... Oh my gosh, there! Wait, kid, don't... Shit. Kid? Where'd you go? I'm over here. I don't suppose you found a grown-up, did you? You're a grown-up. I meant one of your grown-ups. No. We should head back. Try to call someone. Do you know your parents' phone numbers? No. Okay, well... Where'd the trail go? Huh? There was a trail that we were following, and we passed by a couple of bushes with white flowers that should be right there, but they're not. Well, maybe it's magic? Maybe they're this way. Come on, I know we'll find them if we just drop the act. Huh? Luring humans into the Fae realm is a bit old, don't you think? Well, that takes some of the fun out of it, but alright. Come on. No, I'm going home. This is your home now. I caught you, you're mine. That is not how this works. Silence. You won't be able to return to Earth anytime soon. The portal is enchanted to be invisible and unfindable to mortal eyes. So here's how this is going to go. You are my servant now, forever. You're here to serve and entertain in any way my people and I require. My father especially has more carnal desires, and you're just his type. Serve well and you'll be rewarded. Disobey and you'll be punished. We don't kill, but you'll wish we did. You'll be spending the rest of your life here, and it will be what you make of it, so get used to it. Silver King, Crimson Princess, we have captured and arrested this mortal murderer. Yes, I just finished hearing your report. You couldn't find our identification papers? They threw what looked like a wallet into the river when they saw us coming. Seeing the basics of fairy magic. Why did you kill one of my fairies? You may speak. Much better. So, I was kidnapped from Earth, tricked into coming here by a fairy who glamored themselves as a kid who needed help. They told me that I was their servant now, and that if I didn't obey them and their people, I'd seriously regret it. They heavily implied that I was about to be assaulted by their dad, who sounds like a creep. So to not deal with any of that, I acted in self-defense. You killed one of my subjects. In self-defense. If you don't believe me, hit me with a truth curse. The rug you're standing on has already been enchanted. Any who stand on it cannot speak false. Really? So pretty. Why are you letting people put their muddy shoes all over it? I think we should curse them to be unable to harm anyone or anything, and then send them to work for the family of the dead. Tempting, but that may cause the family more trauma. Did you not hear the self-defense part? Fae hearing is leagues better than humans, so yes. You're clearly a newcomer to this realm, so let me explain. Mortals do not have the right to self-defense. Not in my kingdom. That is so deeply fucked up. Especially if you have human or mortal citizens. How many uprisings or riots do you have to put down? You sound like my granddaughter. I'm assuming not this one. No, I'm the favorite. That one is long gone. Seeing as they are mortal, Your Majesty, I would be remiss if I did not point out that execution is an option. What happened to fairies don't kill? We don't. That's what mortal executioners are for. It doesn't count if a fairy just gives the order. That math is not mathing. Agreed. Besides, death is so inelegant. We can do better. We can. Captain, you were just saying how we were running low on soldiers. This one clearly already knows how to use a weapon. So you don't kill, but you have a standing army? Made almost entirely of mortals, except for the officer positions. No wonder Bob left. Bob? My fairy boss. Look, I don't like playing this card, but she's a pretty powerful sorceress and she gets pissy when someone in her domain is taken or threatened, even when we can handle it. You have a fairy master. Those are not the words I would use, but, given your guys' whole deal, sure, yeah, I have a fairy master whom I work for and whom I would like to get back to. You're her bodyguard? Her baker. And occasional criminal consultant. We did deal with the dragon egg thieves together, and the evil witch coven, and that one girl who tried to force a love spell on my coworker. This complicates things. Your master should at the very least be a part of these proceedings. I tried calling her and her ward and everyone else, but AT&T doesn't cover the Fae realm. You are but mortal. I am a Fae king. Contacting them should be no trouble. Who are they? So I don't know her real name, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you anyway. Most people that I know call her Bob, but that's a pretty new thing. Her old school nickname is Lavender or Violet, but when she's pissed off, she goes by the Iron Witch. Let's see. She runs a cafe in Minnesota. It's called CaFae Latte. It's about half an hour from the Twin Cities. We should kill them. What? Now. 2 seconds ago, you guys were totally against killing me. Why is it back on the table? Silence. Seriously, we should kill them. That purple bitch hasn't suffered any consequences for betraying us. This is a prime opportunity. Your Highness, please don't. You're not the one who had to fight her. And if she comes here to avenge her baker, you're not the one who's going to have to cross swords with her. Again. Would she, though? I know Violet's always had a soft spot for mortals. The question is, would she risk another war for this one? Well, she doesn't have to know. She'll know. As soon as she realizes this one is missing, she'll track them down. It's only a matter of time. Oh, maybe this one is an advanced scout? A spy? The Iron Witch has disagreed with your rule for a long time. Maybe she's finally ready to strike again. Mortal, speak. No, you cannot lie. Are you here to spy on us? Fuck no. I told you, I was kidnapped. I don't want to be here. I was not sent here. I am not a spy or scout or whatever the fuck. I am a baker, and I am missing my girlfriend's birthday because of this bullshit. So you're stupid enough to come here, which means you can't be particularly useful, but you might still somehow be endearing to her. Okay, first of all, ouch. Second of all, I worked for her for over 2 years. If she didn't like me, I would be gone. Instead, I run her whole kitchen. Don't ask me why. There were plenty of way more qualified people that she could have hired for that, but she gave it to me. See? Endeared. Perhaps you'll prove useful after all. Maybe I can get a ransom out of you. So if Jennifer Charles is a prisoner of Ivey, they'll be taken to the dungeons until they complete their case to a royal, unless their crime is great enough to demand the family's immediate attention. Shit. Hello, grandfather. I believe I have something of yours. Would that something be a foul-mouthed human in a jean jacket? Indeed. I want proof that they are unharmed. Mortal, make yourself known. Hey, Bob, I'm sure you and Cyrus are going to make fun of me for this forever. I fell for the oldest trick in the book, but in my defense, I genuinely thought that they were a little kid who needed help. Are you injured? Right now? Just my pride. Cursed? Have you told them your full name or eaten anything? I was silenced cursed, but the king got rid of that. No, they don't know my name, and I got rid of my wallet so they wouldn't learn it, which is going to be a bitch to replace. No, I haven't eaten or drunk anything, and I am starved, so can we please wrap this up? Your mortal killed one of my fairies. I normally don't blame the victim, but what did that fairy do to deserve a bullet? Does it matter? Yes, it does. I am assuming my mortal acted in self-defense. They don't have that right. Not here. Your cousin is arguing for an execution. Meet barbarity with barbarity. What barbarity? I have had no sway or influence over the Fey realm in 2 centuries, long before that mortal was born. You caused all the human serfs in my kingdom to rebel. It destroyed our economy and military and saw the rise of a whole human kingdom in the realm of Fey, who is one of our greatest rivals. We're only just now recovering. And how is any of that my baker's fault? It's not, but it is yours. And as I cannot reach you, you don't want to do this. I think I do. What is a mortal life worth to you? Oh shit. Is he seriously asking for cash? More like a favor or an oath from her. He's wanted to control her movements ever since she left. As insurance. Oh, that's not gonna work. It's worth enough to destroy you. You would never win such a war, not this time. No, of course not. But that wouldn't be the goal. The goal would be to ruin you, cripple you and your nation so horribly so that even if you won, you would be unable to survive the next disaster. Burn everything I could reach, and then curse the earth so nothing could grow for centuries to come. Choke your rivers with the corpses of any who stand in my way. Cause so much pain and suffering that it reverberates through the millennia. By the time I'm done, whether I live or not, your subjects will curse my name for 1,000 generations, and any victory you get over me will be soured ashes. Or you could return my baker immediately to today's date in the mortal realm, alive, unhurt, untouched by any magic. All that for a mortal baker. Grandfather, I might not have a kingdom anymore, but I do have a domain, and you hold one of its key components. And before you think to target any other friends, wards, and allies I've gained, the knife expert, the dragon, the witch coven, the CIA, know that they all hold that mere mortal baker in very high regard and would not hesitate to jump into the fray. And that's before counting the fact that that baker is an American citizen. I might not even have to blackmail anyone into bombing their palace. They might just do it for fun. Very well. Your baker will be returned to the same gate they came through by day's end. Violet, your hand's shaking. Well, that's a decided improvement. Last time I spoke to him, I vomited. Let's go. You know, you don't need the 50-plus soldiers you've got as an escort. Once you push me through the gate, I'm out of here. They're not for you. Are you seriously gonna try to attack her? Not unless she attacks us. She did threaten our entire nation. Okay, just push me to the side, but not so far that I can't see what happens. You really do have a death wish. We all die. Might as well put on a show. So your grandpa just said that he would return JC to us through this gate by end of day. He did not say that they'd be in one piece. I know. However, he knows what he risks if he tries to hoodwink us, and Nicole has not foreseen any issues. But, just in case, I can probably undo any curse, and if they're injured, Ameth will fly them to the nearest hospital while we, Patrick, Janine, and Raythu, tear apart anyone who tries to stop us. Until then, everyone but the dragons and Cyrus stays hidden. Cool. Incoming. And here there be dragons. Phenomenal. Hey guys, this was not my idea. Damn, how much trouble did you cause to get this many soldiers as an escort? Well, don't look at me. I am but a victim of this family drama bullshit. Now, don't get me wrong. I kind of love that Bob is that much of a badass bitch, but it's really inconvenient. What's the first food you made for us? Huh? The first baked good you made for my cafe, what was it? So those two questions don't go together, because brigadeiros are not a baked good. You heat them on the stove. Cyrus stole about a quarter of them, which, looking back, was almost an admirable amount of restraint. The first baked good I made, I think it was chocolate chip cookies, because that's always a safe bet. And some muffins for the morning. Wait, are you asking me this because you think I'm a spy? It's a valid concern. A trained sorcerer would be able to glamour themselves to look and sound like anyone. Why does everyone think that I'm a spy? Unless I'm infiltrating a gang or a drug deal, I'd be horrible at it. Iron Witch, I can assure you that this is the same mortal that stumbled into our kingdom, killed one of our subjects in self-defense, swore at the king, claimed to be your baker, and to whom you spoke to over the phone. Now get them out of here so I can end this extraordinarily long shift. I know you. One of your last battles at the end of the war. I was a lieutenant. Surviving you made me a captain. Cool. I'm not leaving without my llama. Most people would be more concerned with their weapon. Oh, I don't care about that. We're in America. Guns are a dime a dozen here, but I need the llama. Alright, it's clean. Oh shit, I missed brunch in the movie, didn't I? Oh yeah, Nicole is pissed. Yeah, Kels, I'm totally fine. Nicole's not letting me out of her sight, and I won't go chasing weird fey children into the forest ever again. Alright, catch you later. So Kelly's coming to the rescheduled birthday party next week. That cool? Yes. Glad you like the llama. Sorry to scare you. Not your fault. We've known Bob and Cyrus for so long that sometimes it's easy to forget that a lot of fairies are genuinely dangerous. Of course they are. They're people. Anything interesting happened while I was gone? Not really. I visited Eric to see if he'd have any ideas. That's how I thought to look for you in the Fae realm. I'll be calling or writing to him to let you know that you're safe. He thought you'd fallen off the wagon. Ha! You know, I'm almost tempted to join you just to rub that in his face, but I also know that if I do, I'm punching him until he stops moving. Fair enough. Also, Hiznia used to work for the CIA. Hiznia did what now? So we're really just gonna let this go? Let what go? Your bitchy grandpa. Look, I know that he didn't order JC arrested or anything, but it was still his person who kidnapped them, tried to enslave them, and then he was going to punish JC, our person, for defending themselves. He deserves at least a little incineration. That would be awesome, but also, Corvell, please don't. Why not? I'm not going to argue about deserved or the folly of vengeance, even when Jennifer Charles is returned safe and sound. The reason I'm not retaliating against the Silver King, even if I wanted to, is because it would end with all of us dead or worse. You beat him before. Barely. And that was with the element of surprise. Nobody expected me to turn traitor. I also had all of the resources of a princess, gold, information, armies, magical items, all of which were absolutely drained by the end of that war. It has since been 200 years. Ivy's security is better. They have countermeasures against my magic. Any information I have on my enemies or potential allies is well out of date. And while my current community is quite formidable. Against Ive and its allies, we would not win. We could cause a lot of damage, yes, possibly even kill my grandfather and a few of my cousins, but our destruction would be assured. Cyrus told me all about your death threat, and you're a fairy. You can't lie, and you don't bluff. I cannot, and I did not. If he had harmed me by hurting or killing Jennifer Charles, I would have harmed him back with every resource at my disposal. And I would do that knowing that it would likely seal my doom. Same. I mean, it would have been worth it, but it still would have sucked. So why'd he back off if he knew he would win? Because he knows just how much damage I'd be able to do. Empires and countries do not crumble in a single day. It takes a long chain of events, a domino effect stretching over decades, if not centuries. And I would be a very big domino. He's also smart enough to let go of his pride and to play his part in de-escalation, but not if we strike back now. Attacking now would just put us back in hot water, except worse because it would destroy what bargaining power I have. If I'm going to punish him, whether he does right or wrong, why would he do right? Sometimes the villain does not get punished. But as everyone here is returned safe and sound, in this instance, it's easier to make peace with that fact. You might need to make peace with someone else. JC found out about Husnia. Come in. Qual, if those teeth aren't washed in the next 5 minutes, you're not getting a bedtime story. JC! Nicole! Everything okay? No, is it? I've tried to talk them into at least waiting until your guys' next shift together, but they were pissed. Well, come on in. Asif, can you please prepare us some tea? Oh, we're having that conversation? Okay. Koala, I'll be up in a bit for that bedtime story. We just have to have a really boring grown-up talk first. Are you calling Bob or Cyrus over for verification? That sounds smart. Hey guys, what'd I miss? Asif makes tea better than I do, and that just makes me angrier. I am as good at making tea as I am bad at dealing with customers, which is why she went in, not me. You're also better at computers and long-wage weaponry. Best for backup. That too. Oh shit, really? Oh, he's practically a surgeon with a shotgun. That makes no sense. And also, you're okay with this? They lied to us. Only by omission. Besides, it's practically a game between us and the CIA at this point. They're probably going to send someone else now that you both quit. Almost certainly, but it'll be a regular customer, not an employee. And honestly, it might be a trainee or first mission. Something safe to get them started. Also, JC, if it makes you feel better, Bob and Cyrus were the primary targets, not you or Nicole. I never told my bosses anything about you that they didn't already know from your public and government records. Yeah, it was just surveillance. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't have volunteered for it. But your kids, of course you wouldn't. So you're just cool with this? JC, kid? There was a solid 2-week period after we met where Boss and I were arguing over whether or not you were a private investigator, FBI, Homeland Security, or KGB. I would have believed KGB. I gave her my name, though? So you would have been a kamikaze type spy, someone thrown under the bus for the greater good. You do have a very unique set of skills. And friends. There's very little difference between criminals and spies anyway. Oh, everyone knows at least one person who's associated with the mob or sex work, and if they don't, they're lying. So Bob and everyone else is okay with this. Yeah. I mean, they did burn through all of their contacts when you went missing without hesitating. We didn't even have to ask. Yeah, my FBI friends and I were very annoyed when we couldn't find you. Both personally, because you're his nearest friend, and I wanted you safe and sound. And also professionally. It really pissed me off. Fine. This is unfairly good. My sweet Euro-descended child is because it has actual spices and flavor. Give them a break. It's not easy being white. And now we're back on their shit list. Okay, then. Hey, how's it going? Not bad. JC's in the back arguing with the oven. And how are they doing? It's been 2 days and they haven't missed a beat. Really? Because I heard that there was a body involved. Yeah, but you know JC, they're as close to indestructible as a mortal can get. You've seen them handle nasty situations. None of those situations involve them being forced to kill someone. Yeah, that really does fuck with the head. You think they're freaking out and hiding it? Yeah, because JC's known for being emotionally vulnerable. Point. Talk to them after shift? Yeah. Hey guys, I've got about 5 minutes before Nicole picks me up. How's she doing with the whole kidnapped SO thing? Well, she's asking me to come over to her place more often or to come over to mine, which... not complaining about that. Ugh, thank God we're alive, sex. It's always the loudest. Pretty satisfying, though. Anyway, and how are you holding up? Same shit, different day. You usually get into life or death fights with fairy sorcerers and heads of state? No, but considering the crazy we often deal with, it was definitely interesting, but not worth any more brain power now that it's over and done. That's one way of dealing with it. Yeah. I remember the first time I had to kill someone. It was during World War II. Heat of battle. And then afterward, I threw up all over Cyrus's shoes. Bad day. Bad day all around. For me, I didn't speak for like 3 days after my first kill, and then had a total breakdown. Just horrible. Ugly cry, snot everywhere. You guys know that I used to run with gangs, right? When I was a kid? We did not.
So that fairy wasn't the first.
Not my first time pulling the trigger on someone coming at me, no. Now don't get me wrong, I'm sure that my single-digit body count pales in comparison to either of you, or really anyone in this cafe, including fucking Huznia apparently, but it hasn't been 0 for a long time. Okay then. Yep, no judgment. Just brains are weird. We just wanted to check in and see if you needed a drop kick into therapy. Oh, I definitely do, just not for that. Hey, Nicole. Hey, heard you guys had some drama recently. Everything okay? Yeah, everyone's okay. JC got kidnapped and taken to the Fae realm. They're back now. So did you guys get them back, or did the fairies kick them out? A little both. Also, school is out, so I can pick up more hours here. Awesome. Great. Cool. Once you're done with whatever you're doing, help me organize the back? Sure. Oh, new drawing? No, a letter. The phone system used in prisons and jails is atrocious. You're writing to a prisoner? An ex-friend of JC's. He helped us locate them. I called to tell him they were back safe, and I'm writing to let him know the details. What did he do? Sold Cyrus out to be kidnapped by the Stone Oaks Covenant in exchange for immortality. Right. Sorry, I forgot. It's not your fault. But you mind if I add my own letter to yours? I get the feeling he and I have some things to talk about. Sure. This chick tried to kidnap Bob? Hey, I need a pen and all the paper. I have so many questions. Okay, guys, I'm heading out.
Oh, give my best to the Sphinx. Has he seemed a little odd to you lately?
I mean, he's 18. That's a really odd time. Just be glad he's not spending it in lockup. Yeesh, kid, I've caught the laser light 3 times now. You're off your game. Sorry, just a lot on my mind. Not that I care, but what's going on? Pride Month is when you're supposed to be your gayest, in every sense of the word. Did you hear about JC getting kidnapped and then returned safe and sound through some political stuff and probably a gun? Yeah. Everyone in the cafe, all of our friends were helping to find them and bring them back. When Bob got a call from the actual king who tried to use JC as a hostage and blackmail her, she basically rolled a nat 20 on intimidation and got him to back down. Nicole was divining JC's location with magic. The dragons and werewolf and angel found the exact gate. Huznia was calling friends from the CIA and FBI, and I was just holding the phone, sending a few text messages to Raythu. It's just... When I was a freshman, I tried out for baseball. I got on the team and I liked it, but halfway through the season, I realized that I was the team's worst player. I caught the fewest balls, I got the fewest points, I ran the slowest, and nobody really cared because I wasn't getting any of the important spots. Those were for the good players. I was just there to have fun. But it's still not fun realizing that you're the weakest link. And I just realized that that's still happening, only in real life. Is that it? You're a kid, of course you're the weakest link. I'm 18, legal adult. Yeah, and your boss is over 1,000 years old. JC's what, almost 30? Everyone around you has been an adult for way longer, so of course they're gonna have a longer list of accomplishments. I guess. Look, I may be a sphinx and thus a naturally solitary creature, except when it's time to make kittens. You are a social creature, pack animal. And the thing with pack animals is that it's way more about society as a whole rather than an individual person. Not everyone gets to be a vicious warrior or soldier or spy. Otherwise, who's making the food and the art and all the stuff people are actually fighting for? On top of that, your fairy boss is not the type of person to indulge in incompetence or unnecessary fluff. She keeps you around for a reason. Yeah, to clean the dishes. Who's gonna go to a cafe with dirty dishes? It's not a fun job, but it has to get done or people get sick and the business tanks. That's not weakest link, that's just work. You want to be a badass, go join the Marines or law school or one of the gazillion social movements for people's rights. Just whatever you choose, do it for yourself. Not because you want to impress other people. Other people suck. Who cares what they think? Social creatures? Ugh, what a headache. Hey, Oscar, just in time. And I see you brought customers with you. The usual? Yes, please. Matter of fact, I'm heading to the firehouse, so I think I'm going to clear you out of your scones. Only for you. Disney up. Yeah, pop the next batch of scones in. I'll just take my copy. On the screen. Let me get a box.
Honestly, Andy, it's like your wife doesn't ever feed you.
They're for the boys at the station. Oh, I'm sure not a single scone is going to find its way into your gullet. Not a one. Hey, if I can be polyamorous, I can be poly breakfast. Baby, I do believe that's why I choose, not necessarily poly. What's the difference? God, don't ask that. Patrick will give you a whole PowerPoint. Here are your scones and your coffees. Leave the boyfriend. We need him from the rush. Oh, as you wish. Have a good day, baby. Bye. So that's going well.
Oh, I can't really complain.
Okay, so I know she gives out pet names like Candy, but how serious is this? Well, not at all. Well, friendships are, of course, serious. Frankly, I think they're more valuable than romance, but I'm not using words like boyfriend or love. And do they know that?
Oh, of course they do. I told them about my wife. Burying one spouse was bad enough, and I'm likely to outlive the both of them.
Fair.
And now where on earth is Cyrus? I swear I've barely seen him since the whole Faerun fiasco.
Oh, he's gone down to part-time.
No joke.
The lawyer business is picking up. Oh, her name is Jesus. You know, with how everyone was talking to you, I thought they were saying, hey, comma, Zeus. Okay, yeah, let's get your dad to the lockup. Oh, you said he was arrested when he went in for a scheduled immigration meeting? If you stare any harder, you'll burn holes in his head. I think I know that guy. Should we be worried? Probably not. I'm 400 years old. I know a lot of people. Well, keep us informed. Excuse me. Yes, how can I help you? Well, it's more how I can help you. You see, I'm a famous food blogger and You gotta pay for your own food. What? Everyone pays for their own food, no matter how many followers they have. That's not how this works. Yes, it is. In fact, we're not even supposed to tell them that we're bloggers. It makes for a more honest experience and review. Rabbi Rabbit, that's how I know you. My sister follows your blog as much as she follows Halakha. I'm gonna need a selfie. She's gonna freak when I tell her about this. Anyway, if you're looking for a free meal or discount, the best we can do is the Neighbors account, which gets you 1 cup of coffee and or 1 baked good for free. It is designed for those with financial difficulties, so you can also donate to the Neighbors account. I'm not poor. Charming. Thanks. Surprised to see you this far from the cities. Oh, I'm actually coming back from Rochester, visiting family, and I needed a break from my car. So glad God gave me wings. Okay, I'll ask. Rabbit? My last name is Coelho, which means rabbit. So when I became a rabbi, that became my nickname, which lent itself nicely to a food blog about cafes and restaurants with Jewish-friendly food. Portuguese. How'd your family end up here? Well, back in the 16th century, Inquisitions were all the rage. Spain did it best and bloodiest, but Portugal wasn't going to be left out of the fun. Well, lucky for us, some genocidal schmuck named Christopher found a whole other continent for us to run to outside of Inquisitor reach. And here we are. Your ancestors didn't happen to settle in the Caribbean first, did they? Yeah, Jamaica. Moved up here around World War I for jobs. Records from before that are a bit spotty, but we're pretty sure that at least one of my ancestors did a bit of piracy. There's a dockmaster's paperwork that had him on the Black Swan, which was rumored to run with a dragon who went by Nightfire. That was my mom. No shit.